BFX finished first in their group, but they got knocked down to the lower bracket by D+K. Which draft is better? I think that BFX draft is better. And we have 3 winning lanes. I think that they have very good early skirmish potential. And the Kaiser doesn't have that much synergy here. Looks like there was an invade from BFX. Were they trying to spot out the swap? I think so. This is something which used to happen. This is a blast from the past, folks. This is what used to happen with that ward into bot lane and top lane there. That's what used to happen back in Season 4. If you go back and watch Season 4 Worlds, you would invade like that. Samsung White would do this to get that ward over the wall to see if there was a lane swap. So it does look like we're going to be forced into standard lanes. I do wonder if that could be an issue. Who am I rooting for at Worlds? Who am I rooting for at Worlds? I think either IG or BLG. I think that IG or BLG would be better for the health of the game, bluntly. Is Orianna nerfed this patch? I think there might be some nerfs. I can't remember if this is the full nerfed Orianna. Look, put it this way, folks. If the LPL doesn't win a world soon, I think that the LPL is going to be in even worse financial trouble than they were. Also, I think it's criminal that Inspired is 19 on the Sheep Esports list. I voted him a little higher than that. Not crazy high, but I did have him there. There are a lot of very good players in the world, but Inspired did make my top 20. By the way, I am part of the top 20 list thingy for Sheep Esports. Orianna was nerfed slightly on this patch, right? Thank you. Better not be another Western player above him. No, Montez Inspired is my highest Western player. Yeah, he is. How is Inspired as high as 19? He went blow for blow with Tarzan at MSI. He is really good. Inspired is genuinely very good. I think if there's one player you can make a big argument for, it is that guy. Tian, hey Sam, how's it going? We're into our lower bracket now. So losers out, winner stays on, plays against Nongshim. Tian is just stuff vision and Raptor's going to see him. That could be a bit of an issue. Might drag away from a potential win becomes lightning. Yeah. So after the list is done on Sheep Esports, my top 20, my personal top 20 will be on there as well. It was a really hard 20 to do, the top 20 to do this year, folks. I was really umming and ahhing because actually I think that the top teams are not that crazy far away from each other. Yesterday I did a alright, would you mind circling which team will take game 1? I don't have. Hang on. Oh god, I'm gonna have to do so. Oh, Sam, careful! You've just you were. Oh god, I actually heard the sound in my headphones there. Okay, hope that's fine. Oh, hang on, Xiaohu going forwards in the mid lane. Missed that one as headphones are potentially in trouble. That's a flash away. Xiaohu trying to go for the last order. The shield's back up and available. Just needs one last thing. Gets in with the Q. Xiaohu first blood onto Vikla. Jackie should be top 10 in the ranking. I did have Jackie in my top 20. Problem is, there are a lot of AD carries out. Sorry, I had to shift Sam's wheels around on his chair a little bit. This is why we come in early before the game start, rather than making me do it while I'm mid cast.
I know.
Sam, this is even the later start. Sam, it's 11 o'clock.
I know.
Yeah, I gotta do something really quick for a friend in chat. Someone ping. Hang on. Wait, I could actually just. This might be a bridge too far to solve this, actually. You know what, that might be a bridge too far. I might just have to type it in chat. I was thinking about putting up the Epic Pen so I could draw stuff on screen, but my CPU doesn't like it. That's all. That's okay. You good, Sam?
I am mildly hungover, but alright.
Oh, that'll be why you came in at 2 a.m. That'll be why you came in at 2 a.m. last night then, Sam, is it?
Yeah, friend's birthday party. It was a good time.
There's Tian coming bot side. Flashes down for him. There are flashes for Diablo and Kellen. Ooh, one flash away. That's very close to a kill.
Gets away with that. That's wild.
Diablo, though, I mean, folks, I was thinking that the Callisto right now would be very lane dominant. I think the Karma's did a lot more work than I thought. Chris trying to go for the... How cute! Good body block. Bloody hell, 22 HP I think that was.
W forced to broken by
Wait, Jarvan Q would kill.
He doesn't get the Q board about the flag. Can he land that one on Diablo, who's got the bailout rolling at this point? He's not dead. They're giving him some time. There's the heal. Diablo doesn't have the bailout anymore, and so he just dies. TN in danger, but will just about survive for a second or two longer. Unfortunately for Raptor, even though he claimed the kill, it doesn't matter because Xiaohu had roamed and was waiting.
Breathe gets the flash out of clear as well by ulting him under turret, flash for flash. Breathe actually getting some good lane pressure from that. Getting to level 6 just before the Renekton, so we can use the Dominus in return. So what's that, 2 for 1 in bot side? They get the kill onto Jarvan, but that's a kill onto Kai'Sa, and even Xiaohu picks up another one as well. Weibo, this is a damn good early game from them. BFX, we were saying, you know, they might have winning lanes, and then a jungler which can really work off of that because the Shinzai uses lane pressure very well. Now suddenly, like, we're down almost 1,000 gold. Okay, a little bit less than that. But they're down a significant amount of gold in the early game. Ryze has 2 kills. Kai'Sa has a kill. The Kalista Renata is behind 10 CS and that death as well. What's the plan B? What's the plan B? Your lane dominance has not netted you the early advantage.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. And that's a big one. We'll see how it all goes out from here. But the fact that the Kai'Sa, who scales better, has gotten the Karma and gotten a lot of value out of the early game is a big deal. And Crisp has always been a very good range support player.
Yeah. Just answering something in Onivia stats well for the world's top 20. In terms of in summer, who's been better than Jackie Love besides, you know, maybe like a couple of choice AD carries? So for me, I weighted a little bit more towards playoffs because, hang on a second, Xiaohu might use level 6 to go bot, so we'll have to have the conversation later. Realm Warp going onto the flash to the spot lane.
Look for something more. There's the flag and drag, the Rune Prison as well. Diablo's got nowhere to go. The bailout is there, but who on earth is he bailing out on as Kellen falls as well? And it's another set of kills onto this bot lane.
This is disaster zone for BFX now. You need a strong Kalista Renata if you pick it. There's a reason why this lane has fallen off a little bit. You need to have a lot of checklist things go right. You want to win lane, you want to get early dragons, and right now they've died between them 3 times in 7 minutes. It's almost a death every 2 minutes. And Weibo, fantastic play from them. Xiaohu being so far ahead of the game with a solo kill and then being unlocked to roam across the map has been so impactful to this game. Yeah, the conversation about the bot lane thing, I weighted playoffs and regionals a little bit higher. So I personally think that obviously Ruler has to be in there. I think Ruler, I think that Viper is up there too. In terms of other AD carries, I can't remember who else I put above him. He is pretty high. And then I think Elk is close. Elk did very well in finals, people forget. He also beat him in the upper bracket finals too. So I mean, Elk beat him in, you know, 2 best of 5s back to back. Now I wouldn't say it's, you know, purely because of him or whatever, but Elk actually had a very good playoffs run, I think, on the whole. So I think that he's in contention as well. And then after that, you know, you chuck in some other names if you feel like it. But I think Jackie Love still needs to be, you know, top 4 minimum in terms of AD carries. And then, yeah, you see how it works out in terms of a top 20. Judge those rolls against each other. Grubs have spawned. Crisp has been found out by Clear.
Does get the root down. That means that Clear, without any more slices and dices, can't really get towards Crisp. He's now got a wave approaching that turret topside, so can escape under the turret. To slow on to Clear with the Q. And a flame coming in clutch, and the Grubs started, but not really finished as yet. A lot of people around.
No. Yeah, and this is the point of power where BFX still have a point of power in the early game here. You have, I guess you don't have any AP on the Orianna, but just the Shockwave CC is pretty good. When it becomes lightning, misses on Xiaohu.
Does manage to get the W down, but unfortunately Xiaohu has to flash away, got the phase rush, not here now. Can still teleport back and has the rumble.
And while that was happening, the Shockwave missed while the Renekton was in.
Oh, no way.
It was on the middle of our screen, the Shockwave was on the Renekton, and it missed because Xiaohu flashed away, so they don't have that ultimate.
That's a big one. That is a big one. Now they can go back towards the Raptors. Xiaohu will need to try and reset and teleport back in. Diablo on ward on the other side. Clear on this flank angle.
Teleport coming in from Ryze. Under the tower there, he's trying to... That's a very slow TP.
Fantastic. Took a while to reset. Already, I think a load of those grubs have been taken by BFX. It'll end up being a 2 for 1 in that sense. No one's died yet, but Tien in the back of the pit will now go for the Cataclysm and dies. Not pretty from Weibo Gaming.
No, he went in for the steal, and then no one was really able to follow him up. So BFX, as we said, had a bit of a point of power, and even with the missed Shockwave, managed to get enough damage to get themselves a 1 grubs fight.
2 kills now for Raptor, who has had a pretty good tournament, I think, all in all. Get some value. There's the Rune Prison. TP's flying. Still going to look for Clear Reminder, who does not have the dominance, does have a fair amount of rage. Will fly on forwards to get that clear of the wave with the Q. Xiaohu running away, gets flashed and knocked up by the 3 talents, back into a handshake. Good damage back onto Clear, who's still doing a lot to heal though. How long and how many cooldowns he got to work with his breathe under the turret? Should get the kill, can't quite do it. The Orianna shield is phenomenal. They do finally bring down the Renekton, but it costs them another member. Now Crisp in danger, and Weibo Gaming, all of those early Crisp plays have all started to come a little bit soggy.
We're in some proper ASI gaming now, folks. Who gets an early lead? Yeah, let's throw it back to them. Weibo have now gone back to even as BFX have picked up a lot of these, sloppy engages and are very well at using the bailout, particularly to force Weibo to take fights a bit slower. The reason why Clear took so long to die is because Bree didn't want to proc the bailout. He didn't want to proc it. It was on him. Wanted to wait a little bit longer. Did end up getting the kill at the end of it, but it traded his life for it too. Tried to go for a quick dive, but guys, this is a Renekton with full rage. It's pretty hard to really dive. It's got the empowered Q for a bit of healing. And then, of course, Kellen and Raptor managed to make their way to the play. Breathe and Xiaohu cut off at the pass. Couldn't really get that much. But Bailout went on to the Renekton, and they were like, we can't kill him, right now. They'll kill us back for the Bailout proc.
Yeah, exactly that. And I actually also think that it was a really good Crescent Guard because it interrupted the potential CC chain that the Rise and the Xante could have put down to really prevent the Renekton from doing all that much. In the end, it was just very good defense from FearX, as well as a little bit of an overreach from Weibo Gaming, and it caused them a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, BFX not landing those first punches in the early game was very important, because it's such an early game-centric draft when you've got, like, Renekton, Kalista, Renata, and Shinzai. You do have to think, well, okay, let's get something rolling early. When that started going wrong, you did worry, but then Weibo gave them a fight still in their power spike. Just because you get those kills doesn't mean that you've overcome all of the early game. I think that they probably should have played a little bit more conservatively around the grubs. Now suddenly, 1,000 gold lead to Raptor in the jungle. Tien is very far behind on this Jarvan as the only engage. Jarvan is the only engage. That's a big problem now.
From FearX and Joy and chat. Yeah. Our whole life, we have been overlooked, ignored, underestimated. Every second in the dark forges a power that even the brightest cannot withstand. One day, the shadows will rise, and this very day is today.
Wow, I mean, chuck it in Lord of the Rings. That's it, that's ready to go.
That's it.
Clip it and ship it.
That's the FearX mantra, apparently. How was that as a dramatic reading? Did that fit?
Yeah, from the hungover co-caster.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I'm not too bad, but I'm just my voice is gone. It's the honest answer.
I can tell it in your voice. Oh man. Oh god. Yes, and there were some people asking in chat as well. Yeah, we did very luckily end up getting World's co-streaming rights, so you'll be able to watch us here, chilling out. Obviously we've watched a lot of LPL, and that's our region of choice, but also Sam and I both casting LECs, we got a lot of familiarity with them. Always love the LCK teams as well. Sorry NA, I do not have the hours of the day to watch that region as much right now, but I love you too. Appreciate you. But yeah, we'll be here live and ready for Worlds. Chilling out, we'll be on the couch while the official broadcast is on, and it's been really cool kind of building up to that this year. We've done about 180 something hours of streaming this year, which is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So it's been cool to have that extra thing to do just at the end of the year and celebrate some League of Legends a bit. Wait, you're in Kadrill's offline chat together? Guys. Do you actually hang out in Kadrill's offline chat? That's
fabulous.
That is something.
Co does the same thing, actually. There is offline chat.
Sometimes when I'm recording videos, I'll notice that someone's just put a random meme in my offline chat. I don't know. I think one time it's because I said I was recording something and they did that. But occasionally, when I'm recording a video, I get my follower alert and I'm like, what? Oh god.
Please tell me the World's chat will be unhinged. I mean,
that's up to you. You are part of the chat.
You must bring about the unhingedness that you wish to see in the world. Or at least in the chat.
Yeah. Game slowed down a little bit. Very even gold, very even gold. Where are our gold leads? Top side tends to be the leads for BFX here. 600 gold for Renekton, 900 for the 4-kill Shinzai, no surprise there. Rise is still ahead of the game. And the Kai'Sa is 2 at 202. That's quite important, actually, given how important Diablo is to BFX as a team. And he has been incredible. He's got, what, 4 MVPs this tournament? Maybe one more than that, maybe 5, actually. But then you've got the Kai'Sa, which is 202, and Light's Kai'Sa, when it gets ahead, is significant. I don't think this has been Light's cleanest year of AD carry, but he's had a couple of good Kai'Sa games at the tournament, I believe. At least 1 or 2 that I can remember. And Weibo's got him ahead again.
At this point, it's a very odd game state. In the sense that, of course, you've got a 202 Kai'Sa, who's still ahead of the Kalista, and will likely stay that way. You've still got a 3-kill Rise, who's still very scary. The issue on the other side is you've got this ridiculously strong Shinzai, who is going to be very, very annoying to deal with for at least the next 5 to 10 minutes. That said, the fact that BFX have gotten all their comeback gold onto the Shinzai, I don't know. It is Raptor who's been pretty good this tournament, but I don't know whether for all Shinzai's annoyingness, whether it's going to be enough to overcome what Weibo got.
Raptor is good. I think he's been playing well this tournament so far. Player on the Renekton also a little bit scary here because I actually think Renekton can be quite good versus Rise because whenever Rise is in range to do damage, you can often flash W or sometimes EW if you're lucky.
We saw that on the grubs, right?
Yeah, and then there was a whiffed shockwave right on top of it, which I know you're hungover, Sam. You did miss it happening.
It's because
right
I didn't have any sound effects. So
Sam, the shockwave is a gigantic circle on the
yeah,
screen.
you know why? As I thought it was Renekton Q.
In fairness, damaging circles around Renekton, his Q is included in that.
Yeah.
In fairness,
So I think that was what was
I just
going on.
want chat to know that I'm judging Sam harshly for missing that.
I will say for Shockwave, I am often very audio coded for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing the headphones, Sam. This is a training arc now. This is the hyperbolic time chamber.
Okay.
ASI is that for many regions.
Many regions?
Many regions, yeah. And us as casters as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Imagine, these teams rocking up next year saying, we might have missed Worlds, but did you go to ASI? Didn't think so. Herald's up and available, Raptor's going to start it.
Well, the Mantra Q comes on out briefly. Herald is likely just going towards BFX here, all things said and done.
Yeah, there might be... TN, hang on a second, I'm not sure about that one. Guess the red buff. He's spotted on the blue trinket here, so he's spotted on the flank. Renekton is on the bot side of mids. He's spotted by another blue trinket.
Immediate control ward, hold on that, and they got the dragon up and available. Weibo look like they want to fight around that instead.
Someone's jealous because they didn't go to a fun party last night. Well, maybe, but then also I didn't want to speak because my voice was dying.
Yeah, that's fair.
Turns out they're streaming for like 12 hours a day for the last week.
It's a lot.
Has really wrecked my voice. Hang on, Claire's going to go into Jarvan Rise here.
Ooh, baby, that's a fair amount of CC. Forced to flash over the wall, just about escapes that, but now the dragon started. Claire does not have TP, does not have flash. I think this will be a hard contest now for FRX.
Yeah, he'd have to pop the Dominus to get some HP and then get a rage kind of Q on the flank. He might still go for that. Hang on, breathe, doubling on the side. Claire coming around the flank.
W from the Kaiser. There's the dragon secured by TN. Cataclysm afterwards is good. Fate's call, buying time for the side of Kellen, who needs it. Claire trying to get on the backside. Kellen flashed away.
No!
Wonderful blast cone. Breeze may need to jump over the wall and will do so. Win becomes lightning just wide. And Weibo Gaming get out. I feel bad.
Sam, it happened again. Raptor jumps in and the shockwave whiffed again. It happened right in the middle of our screen. And in fairness, that one, I was looking, because I've been so neurotic about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I watched just a circle happen. I'm like, surely that wasn't Shockwave. That might have been a Renekton. Wait, that's a Shinzao. He doesn't have a Tiamat. And I realized, Shockwave's on cooldown. So Weibo get the dragon. I'm not sure whether it is... Look, half the time, folks, it's the Orianna pressing the arcade at the wrong time. I think in this case, it is the people going in, coordinating with this. Look at this. Tried to get TN and the dragon in it, couldn't quite get it. And suddenly Shockwave down, you're flashing out of the Cataclysm. Xiao, who's dealing with Cleo very well, and then gets the...
Oh, this is so ridiculous.
The blast going onto Diablo. Callista goes on like a... he's getting air miles at this point.
Oh, that's after you blew the flash as well. That feels rough.
Who is Shockwave and why are we missing him? Shockwave was a Transformer from the hit series Transformers, and I haven't watched it really since, like, the Michael Bay movies, and I didn't grow up watching them, so that's why I'm missing him.
We've got a few friends who are big Transformers nerds.
Yeah.
And they give us quite a lot of information that... Anyway, Diablo just eats an Acathian Rain. And now the turret is under danger. And Weibo Gaming will claim on the mid lane.
Acathian Rain is kind of the result of, atmospheric pollution like acid rain?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. I think Acathian Rain is actually very environmentally coded,
I agree. Does that make Kaiser an oil baron?
No, she's fighting against it, Sam. But she is using the Acathian Rain.
Yeah, exactly. But or is it that her dad is the oil baron? She's trying to use.
Nara Gazelle, by the way, thanks to the Prime. We do really appreciate you. The sub rather. Hang on, Ratsy Realm warp going in towards the bot side.
Dominus procced. Will it buy anything really in the grand scheme of things? Flag and drag just wide, but the Cataclysm finishes what the dive started, and they get the clean kill onto Clear.
Top lane inner turret did fall, so that is good gold. Inner turret's of course worth an awful lot of gold. Mid lane, Light has to be very careful because he's like, well, I am technically in a 1v3, so they actually might have to give over the entire mid lane outer turret. Teleporting in from the Orianna, yeah, that's a full turret. Light makes the right choice. He can't wave clear this, not safely. You'd have to blow flash and ult. He might not even get the wave clear he needs. So that is a turret for 2 turrets and a kill. I think BFX get away the better from that, especially because mid lane turret is so important.
Yeah, of course, all before that, Weibo did get their own mid-tier 1, but I don't know whether I consider that part of the same
Isn't Acathian Rain a Prince song? Yes, yeah, it is. Actually, no, you're thinking of Guns N' Roses' hit song, Acathian Rain. That's a great guitar solo, 2 of them, in fact. Yeah.
I don't really know where to go from that one, I'm not gonna lie.
There was that one time where they played November Rain in the rain, and it was iconic. It's very cool.
That's very true.
Slash was stood on top of the grand piano doing the solo. Very cool. I wouldn't suggest doing that in case you break a very expensive grand piano, but they have enough money, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan, by the way. Just I had to get that in there.
I knew that one,
yeah. Did you know that Guns N' Roses did a music video for Terminator 2 with You Could Be Mine?
I did know that, actually.
It's really cool. They have,
I had to think about that one, but yes.
Yeah, so it's like Guns N' Roses getting hunted down by the Terminator and playing rock music. It's kind of cool.
That is great fun. Was Arnie in the music video? I've actually forgotten the music video. I've not seen it in
With
years.
Alex butchering November Rain like that. What do you mean? It's one of my favorite songs. Clay gonna go up and steal the Scuttle Crab.
Nice.
It's a bad day for a Cathy and Rain, Sam.
That it is. Clear is getting run at by an angry Prince of Damacy saying, "How dare you steal my
But
crab?"
it's not raining. Yes, it is.
It is. So it is.
So it is. They also did a Bond song. Yeah, they covered Live and Let Die.
Yes,
and we did the rock song of that, which was originally a Paul McCartney song. Dragon in a minute. 1,000 gold ahead for Weibo-ish. Alright, 500 gold. My maths is off today, Sam. My maths is off. 2 items for the carries of Weibo. BFX not getting that second item on the Callista yet. It is a problem that the Callista is just not quite there yet. The Callista is going to struggle to do bits and pieces of damage. That being said, I do think that I can see a world in which the Callista is hitting, you know, the Cassante or the Jarvan that's engaged just in front of them, but just about miss them. There's a chance, especially with your double summoners, that Callista can still do the team fight winning damage.
Be required to. We'll see. Black Cleaver's stacked up. The Renekton's still only at the 1 item, but that's the same with the Cassante. But hey, Cassante with the Jack Show probably doing quite a lot here. Just a straight front line and buying some time here.
Crisp discovering that Karma.
They want that out to come.
I guess they already have the 2 dragons. Yeah, so they really want this. They're going to bring light over. Okay, this is the macro play. They say, right, you can have your first dragon. We'll give up the potential...
Karma's slowing them down.
Karma's trying to slow them down. Misses the Q there. I don't know whether this is going to be quick enough. Clay does have teleport, but
where?
He's going to teleport to the wave. Teleport into the wave. It's going to be too late, though.
Crest splashes away, buys some time, speeds himself up with the Inspire, and gets out. That is a clean heist.
And then, because of that, BFX were rushing to get to the outer card. They didn't even stick around and do dragons. They don't get dragon in the trade. Weibo, I don't think they will contest this, but BFX don't even get themselves the dragon, so now they're going to be delayed a little bit taking the dragon. Weibo will say, well, okay, we wanted to give that up anyway. We'll push in some ways while you're distracted and delayed taking the dragon.
That's very smooth. Very pleased with that one indeed.
Earlier in the year, when Atacon was really broken, Weibo were one of the very few teams worldwide, actually, and I was watching multiple regions at that time, that would actively say, look, Atacon is strong, but we can trade better for it. They have been a team which have been pretty good at trading objectives. Xiao had to flash away.
Right.
That was actually the Renekton Q.
No, I know.
Piccolo was behind him.
Exactly. So like,
Sam, it made me laugh, Sam. You have to go give mid lane. Tien caught out.
Now they might just get the flag and drag through. Can look to shockwave and back. Won't need to do that quite yet as the Cataclysm comes on down. Tien trapped within that with the rest of the squad and dies. There's no Baron or anything, but he is just dead. A little bit weird there on the retreat from Weibo.
Yeah, I don't think they were ready for Xiaohu to be kind of double solo lane ganked up towards that top side. Yeah, Fickler was behind him. It's just the way you said shockwave. I'm like, oh god, not the shockwave mid-fight again. It's a fun old time. Sam, are you leaving because I joked about the shockwave? Sam, don't leave. Sam's left for a reason. I think he's getting a drink. I'm gonna hope it's a drink. I don't think it was. I don't think I've offended him too much with that. You can decide in chat. Can see the problems of this Jarvan being behind though. The Jarvan is the one that's most likely to take damage in these fights, really, because you are the engage. You need to go in. A lot of the time, Jarvan is very, very strong where you can kind of like hold off a little bit on the engage. Someone else can kind of get a half pick, and then you can follow up with your thingy, EQ. Thingy is very descriptive, I feel. I feel like it covers a lot of scenarios. Why was Xin Zhao shining while using his ult? It's because it's the new Xin Zhao like rework. Not rework. The mini visual update thing. So his ult is a lot more shiny, which makes it a lot more obvious what's happening. Hi Vedius and Vedius. We will live with this burden for forever. We do need to make some content out of that at some point. I think what should happen is Vedius and I should go live on each other's channels for a day and see who notices the difference first. WTF, two Vedis? Yeah. There's 3 actually. take a shot for every shockwave miss. Vigler's been a bit unlucky with them because he is trying to use ball carriers, right? It's not him who's kind of freeballing it. That is some screen flicking about there. Tien's going to get stunned up. Raptor's going to jump forwards. Good damage onto the Jarvan. And again, he's not that tanky. He has 2 items, but a bit worrying there. Raptor is very strong, you know. 2.5 items. Is it level down on Tien, though, interestingly? Still, Shinzao, kind of scary. It's spooky. Dragon up in 2 minutes, game slowed down a little bit. No huge gold lead. The Atakan did give Weibo some extra value, of course, with the petals. Have 25, it's not bad. Hang on, Diablo's going really far forward. That is a play of all time. Clear, going around the side with the Dominus. Breathe, using that double to go unstoppable. That is a lot of Ren stacks, and he will almost certainly die, and he does go down. Shockwave does land this time, and that's Light Dead. He had Flash, he had ult, he couldn't use either of them. Raptor got the knockup, and that is the play that BNK Fearex were really looking for. Get themselves 2 quick kills. That can go in towards the Baron, and Weibo just did not have a response. Who was in position to answer that? No one. Light, using the cleanse, had the flash and the ult, could not get there in time. Realm up onto Vikla, trying to get someone back into position. Dunk onto Kellen, but they're really fighting back from an awkward scenario here. Yeah, there is going to be a rend on the Baron itself. Xiao, not bad damage there, but a flash forward from Clear. This Renekton, the point-and-click CC has been so important. Jarvan will even use his passive Sundered Sky Auto onto his own teammate, and he will die alongside Rise. Weibo lose full control of the game. BNK Fearex get a massive play in mid lane, snowball it into a fight in the topside jungle, into the Baron. That will stabilize them and give them great push for the next few minutes, and also set up for the next Dragon. Diablo, I thought this was going to be a massive in, but he ends up just jumping forwards, forcing the fight, and you can see that Rise doesn't pull the ultimate to get into position. What happens to Light here? I think Raptor just ends up he charges up the Q. Light misses it, gets knocked up. Of course, you can't flash or ult while you're in that knockup animation. He just didn't track the Shinzao Q stacks, gets within flash auto range and dies. Huge moment for Fearex. Raptor has been so good on the Shinzo. He's been so good on this. And then yet the Renata ult means that he puts an empowered auto onto Rise, and then Rise cops it. LPL looking horrible this tournament. Yeah, LPL has really not done well this tournament, and there are only so many caveats you can make. At the end of the day, the Chinese fans are going to absolutely shred these teams for these performances, right? BNK Fearex going up towards this Dragon. Kellen caught out, does not have flash. The root goes down. Vikla gets the shockwave onto Xiaohu, and the Renata ult comes after. Jarvan's gone too deep. Diablo gets to keep on damaging, and I think Fearex might just have found themselves their winning fight. That being said, Diablo has died. Breathe got the all out, and those spears don't mean anything now. 2 for 2, and the fight is Renekton also died. I missed that one on the side. Light is available, doesn't have flash, doesn't have ult. He's starting to, get into a position with all the cooldowns down that perhaps the Kai'Sa can do some damage. Dragon is available now. It's not an awful fight for Weibo, actually. 2 for 2, denying 2 Barons, delaying the Dragon take. Tien has really struggled to get value here, though. Diablo might int, but he's no coward. That is a good phrase, yeah. An int can carry, but never a coward. The best LPL is the friends we made along the way. We got plenty of them here. I have friends everywhere. Tien tried to keep Cloister in the baby cage. Problem is, Cloister is really good at hopping out of that. But what happened here? I guess Light just outplayed Clear. Yes, he did. Did take his flash and his ult, but he got it. Been very impressed by Raptor this game. Got himself that Guardian Angel. 4,000 gold ahead-ish. Damwon Kia Pays next season, thoughts? Pays has been very good this year. He has been very good here. Well, if you want Rise, you want Pushing Bolt. That's why they picked the Karma Castle. I was a little bit confused at first because I still thought that actually Kai'Sa Karma might lose lane to Kalista Renata. That wasn't the case. They did very well at the early levels, actually. Light and Crisp did well there. Got a lot of kills bot lane. 3 kills in, what, 7 minutes? Something like that onto the bot lane. Then, of course, the Grubs fight happened, and Weibo lost a couple of kills. The top lane dive went even worse. The screen is flickering around a bit, and that's worrying me. I don't know why that's the case. The Observers have had some strange stuff going on with that. Clear is on the flank. He does have Dominus. Light has himself a shield from the Karma, broken by the Empowered. Renekton W. Breathe getting jumped onto by the Shinzao Tien over the wall. 5v5 in a pretty good front to back right now. Weibo on the wrong side of the map. That's That's not your jungle, folks. That's not your jungle. Kai'Sa W's coming out, giving some limited vision. Breathe. He's separated from Steam. They can just DPS him down. Does he have to flash over? He does, and Raptor's going to jump over anyway. Breathe goes down very easily. Kai'Sa on the run alongside Xiaohu's got the Realmort, but it won't matter. It'll be cancelled. Diablo using that Fate's Call to make sure that the Callista can chase down their enemies. Rises down. It just looks like Weibo have just been split up. BFX managed to hold their position and use their ability to jump forwards with the Callista ultimate to get some kills down. Very well played from BFX, corralling Weibo into a losing situation. Oh, flash forward onto the Kai'Sa, who's going down. The Acathian Rain has stopped, and it's clear skies for BNK FearX. They'll get another kill onto Tien as well. You good, Sam? Sam left. I thought it was because I was joking about Shockwaves and I thought it offended him. I have offended him, Sam. He looks so offended right now. Let's come back with a drink of water. As BNK FearX has some very clean team fights back-to-back, forcing Weibo into poor positions and making sure they can never really use the Kai'Sa in their way that they want to. Breathe will go down one last time to end the game on 1 and 4. And BNK FearX, I think, will end the game right here, right now.
They will. Xiaohu gets rended, not quite dying there, but can't get that much value from 3 and out. 3 and 4 not being the easiest game for the dear old Rise, and that means that FearX now on the Nexus, toying with their food. Diablo gets another, and the game, for now, is FearX's.
Raptor. Zero hope. Damn. Would you say Xiaohu is the second mid lane GOAT? He's on the... I'd need to consider about that more. I think at points I've called him that in the past, but I think in the last few... he did make another World's Finals, I guess. Hi, hello, why aren't the players on stage? Because this is a remote tournament. It's being played online because there are teams from Vietnam, from China, from Korea, all playing together. So this is not like a huge budget event. They're not flying players out to play it. This is all online. And it's nice to have it, honestly. I like having the option to do tournaments like this. You know, if you had to play every event in person, you wouldn't be able to have an event like this because it just costs too much, really, for a scale of event this is. Have Rumble still pick Xayah? I mean, the Xayah's good into the Vi. I don't love Xayah into Rumble. Because even if Rumble's ult gets ulted by the Xayah, if you get hit by one tick of it, you're still taking a significant amount of damage. I do wonder if Weibo fall off in damage if Xiaohu's not snowballed. I do wonder. I don't think it's easy for LeBlanc to do damage this game. I'm not sure. Because okay, who's doing damage on Weibo? You have Xayah and you have Wukong, who are actually good DPS threats. Wukong might be able to have a good game, but quite hard to do that against Alistair and... sorry. If you pick it up at the top of it, it's easier.
I burnt myself from that.
Oh god, okay, my bad. Oopsies. Yeah, Sam might have just... Yeah, Sam might have burnt his head making coffee because... reasons. All good. What regions are still in? This is the last LPL team, and then we have BFX, Nongshim, and D plus Kier, who are left in from the LCK. Cold start from Diablo, by the way. Really wants to start scaling up. I do wonder whether Weibo will be able to cleanly close down Diablo too. BFX have more damage than Weibo. Normally, I think LeBlanc can be a damage threat, but if LeBlanc has to be respectful of CC, you don't jump in and do as much damage, right? Because it's a lot easier to say, look, I'm going to jump forwards, you don't have any CC, I can get like a full double sigil chain trade. And that's good damage. That's when LeBlanc actually becomes a damage threat. She can turn poke into assassinations, very good damage threat. In this game, you'll jump forwards, and then you'll maybe like throw out a Q auto, and jump back because the Vi might just ult you. Good chain there from Xiaohu. Which is why Xiaohu has to play very well here on LeBlanc. He did play a game of it earlier in the tournament. He was pretty good, you know. That game was not bad. I don't think that game was his fault that they lost it. So if Weibo's the last team in LPL this tournament, does it mean that they have 5th in LPL? Hang on, did they lose? No, it was JDG that were above them in regionals. It's not quite a honest, yeah. I think, did we just about run out of milks then? Or do we have any more? Nice, hell yeah, I thought we were completely out. Nice, clear, going for the solo kill onto Breeze. Can't quite get it, flash for flash in the top side. So yeah, I was chatting a little bit about the drafts. I actually think this is a fairly even draft. I think maybe I slightly favor BFX, because I can see a world in which the LeBlanc has to be so respectful of Alistair Vi that she can't really get great damage in. Because she's so afraid of like a Vi ulting her. So she can't stick around for like double sigil chain. She has to just get like a sigil and out. And that drops Weibo's damage quite considerably. They do have an Ornn. That's pretty strong, right? Being able to catch out the Talia particularly, and maybe the Rumble. But I'm a little bit worried for Weibo's damage profile. What are you thinking about, Sam?
Don't know.
Brain empty?
A little bit. My brain's usually vaguely empty, so nothing particularly new. Crisp goes in for the grand entrance. That's actually not a bad trade at all there, as Light follows up well. Zyra Khan doing Zyra Khan things.
Damn, nice stuff. Don't think there was a summoner used there. Kellen did hold on to the heal. Crisp used his, actually, just to make sure that they could follow for a couple of extra auto attacks. This is something which I really like about bot lanes. This is something that started years and years ago, and now everyone really does it right if you're a top tier bot lane, which is you use summoners very liberally in bot lane just to get yourself more control over a trade. So you will use Ignite as poke at some points, and what I like here is using the heal very early, because you're not full HP, it'll heal you anyway. And then also, it gives you the extra movement speed to get that last one extra auto, so suddenly like the differential in the trade becomes really, really high. There's no point holding on for a perfect scenario with the heal when you can use it for a good one. It's a low enough cooldown anyway. They can get you an extra little bit of winning moments in lane. Wow, and by the way, BF Sword first back from Light, managed to cash in a pretty penny there. BF Sword first back used to be the be-all and end-all of bot lane. There was a time where it was just, do you back for BF Sword, or are you forced to do pickaxe? That was the meta from like Season 3, Season 4.
Does make some sense, yeah, I remember that one.
It's the Bloodthirster rush.
Yeah.
Bloodthirster
yeah.
rush. Yeah.
Might win barrier every time as well. Everyone used to do that and everyone stopped doing barrier and started doing heal instead. Vikla just
chain lands.
And that means a very dead looking Talia. Nice gank into the mid lane. Tiana's the one who claims the kill.
Nice stuff. This is, you need this from a LeBlanc. You need the LeBlanc to start punishing the enemy mid laner. The gold standard for LeBlanc is jump forwards over the wave, get a chain, and then something bad happens to the enemy mid laner. Vikla dies, doesn't have the teleport, does have the ult if they do want to come back out of the map a little bit more quickly. Hello, thing popping up at the top of the screen. I've not found a way to get rid of them, by the way. Xiaohu now roaming across the map, has that level 6, but doesn't have to sit the extra mimic just yet.
Can look to hop on forward and ensure that there is a kill secured, and there is indeed one.
Wow.
As they pick up another kill, the Ornn gets that one. LeBlanc with 2 kill assists. No kills to her name, but setting up her topside compatriots well.
Potential gank in the bot side. Raptor coming down, does have the level 6, and there's no Xayah ult just yet.
It's not a bad turnaround, though, and actually well body blocked by Crisp with the battle dance in the grand entrance.
Okay, so BFX lose 2 kills early again. Xiaohu's roaming has been very effective. Vikla still has no flash, won't be able to ult out.
Oh, and the Weaver's Wall is just not quite allowed. That's not a bad seismic shove, but it doesn't quite break the Ethereal Chain. Cyclone 1. And a crushing blow secures the kill on 2 Rap. To Vikla.
Vikla dead for the second time in the last couple of minutes. Xiaohu's LeBlanc, we said it needed to be active and needed to have a good early game, so he's set up a kill in mid lane, went top, set up a kill top side, and then gone back mid lane and set up another kill in mid lane. Problem is, he hasn't had any of the gold, so it's not going to be a snowballed LeBlanc as much, because he could be, 1,000 gold ahead if he'd picked up all 3 of those kills. But getting the Wukong to 2 kills is very important too. The screen keeps flickering. I don't know why it's causing that. That's really, I don't know why that's a thing.
It's not dealing with the light very well. The light.
The light.
Yes, it's the Shadow Man in the bot lane. He's not dealing with the light of light very well. Vikla's about to look for a bit of a roam down bot side towards this dragon.
Okay, I gotta check this isn't just like, is this on OBS or is this just whatever? Well, we'll do it after the dragon fight, but if you see the screen flickering, you just let us know, because I don't know whether it's just we're seeing it on our screen or whether it's on the stream as well. Raptor does have the ult, doesn't pull it just yet. Xiaohu jumping over.
He does get a decent chunk. Diablo has to hop away and does get out to safety, but is now not necessarily in the river where he would like to be. Dragon aggroed still, but will be about to reset.
Raptor flashed there. You did flash. There was a lot of random movements on both sides of the fight there. You see a flicker on occasion. Okay, so it is actually on the stream. I don't know why this happened. Sometimes I think the observer feed has been a little bit strange. It has been strange in different ways than the last way. Raptor still has the ult.
Down 1700 HP as the dragon. Hop away from Raptor with the Q means he's not around here. Can still look to cease and desist in if he has to. Back to contesting. It will be a flip. In comes Diablo, who throws down the lightning crash. Tian on the other angle. Won't find what he's looking for. Cease and desist into the seismic shove, and Weibo Gaming secure a horrible fight for themselves as the answer is Fearex go, yeah, you really shouldn't have been here, and Diablo continues to throw out some full auto cues. He's getting more and more and more and more from Weibo Gaming. Another seismic shove and another team fight where Weibo Gaming just inexplicably turn up and gift BFX an easy fight.
And once again, Weibo have an early game where they get 3 early kills and then an early fight goes wrong. BFX have been team fighting better than Weibo. That's the reality of it. They've been team fighting better. Right there, we saw the problem of the LeBlanc against something like the Vi and the Talia. If you don't have the right mobility to flick yourself out of range of the Talia combo, you die very, very quickly. And right there, Xiaohu, for all the early game work he's done, he's ran into the problem of LeBlanc versus these heavy lockdown teams.
Well, look at the replay again, because they sort of come into contest, and Tien is trapped away from the rest of the squad by 4 members, has to warrior tricks away, and goes in and doesn't get what he's looking for.
And also Tien is just, he doesn't have the Cyclone here, so we can't use that for the big stuff there. Xiaohu doesn't get himself the chain, doesn't W out of the way, did have flash but couldn't use that in time, goes down very easily, and then you're left with light being the only damage. Tien goes down too, and this is the problem. If LeBlanc is not being really high impact, where is your damage on Weibo? It turns out it's really hard to do. On the other side, you got Vikla, Diablo consistently doing damage and having a great team fight for themselves.
And Diablo now comes out of that team fight, 20 CS up, with a Cull that's nearly cashed in, 3 kills, and a Dream right now. It's not looking good.
Flying Crisp taking up station in the mid lane.
Station?
Station, yeah.
Oh, what station is it?
EA Radio Big from hit video game.
That is such a deep
Let
cut.
me finish. From hit video game SSX3. You didn't let me finish, Sam. EA Radio Big.
I figured you would keep going.
Yes, Sam, but you were speaking over me, so they wouldn't. The chat need to know that EA Radio Big is a hit radio station from hit video game. EA from SSX3.
Weirdly, I've seen the screen flicker again, and I do want to come back to EA Radio Big because that's a great option. As I think I genuinely think when I'm seeing it flickering, I'm seeing like the hang on, maybe I'll have to wait on what I am seeing off screen.
Yeah, what is that?
What's on screen right now is Xiaohu is getting punched in the face by Vi. Gets hit by the seismic shove, managed to distort away, buys some time, but they've still got quite a lot of members down here. I wonder whether FearX have got a little deep, still not really under any threat, so Xiaohu survives, does have to blow the flash.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about the screen thing. I think it's on the stream. I don't think it's. I was hanging Vikla, doesn't quite get himself the flick back. Double dash away, will stop the recalls.
Yeah, because I think what I'm seeing is I'm weirdly seeing the like the UI in superimposed, super large, very briefly. It's very weird.
Beryl announced earlier this year that he'll retire and go to the military. I didn't realize they didn't announce that. Damn, Beryl, 2-time world champion. Oh, man, on 2 different teams. Clear does have flash.
That's a pretty good chunk, and this is still something that Weibo can do very happily. Pick up another kill there onto the Rumble. That's for a good roam from the LeBlanc.
Xiaohu's been really good at roaming. He's been very good at roaming. On the Rise last game, he was good at using his Realm Warp, and right here as well, he's been very good at getting across the map. This part of the game's going well for them. My problem is what happens when it comes to the 5v5s, because that's really where BFX have been beating Weibo consistently, both in the one time we've seen it this time, and then in the last game too. Kalen does have the ult.
He's going to have to blow it. I don't think it'll be much more than that. Had got a blast cone, didn't feel like he was going to need to use it. Vikla now a little bit split off here. Actually, has used his minefield. I don't know about that one. Can wait a little bit longer. Look for a second cyclone. There's the grand entrance. Forces the flash. Kellen, reminder, doesn't have the ult. Overcomes Raptor though nonetheless. Kellen now has to flash away. Xiaohu finds a great angle over the wall. But where is Diablo? Coming on in with the lightning crash and the spark surge to get some more value. Vikla very low. Remember, still doesn't have a flash. From Xiaohu opts forward. Gets a distortion. Needs to hop back, but Diablo should be able to pick him up with the Qs. Dodging pretty well, but still not enough. Diablo still with a lot of HP buffs and a lot of lone members he's got to pay attention to. Can't get beyond the feathers super cleanly. His ult will surely time out in short order. Going for a motherfucker chunk, and then they go with the quickness. The barrier means nothing. They will get out alive. That's clean from Weibo.
How do they make that work? Weibo win the big fight in topside in drips and drabs. I think they win it because it was a fight where multiple members came in throughout the duration of it. It wasn't everyone there at the start, so Weibo could pick off bits and pieces from the start to the end of it. Vikla uses his seismic shove. Did they cancel the recall?
Yeah,
they left. I think they realized, hang on, HP is a little bit low there. Let's not try our luck. Tien got on towards Vikla. Vikla has been punished very heavily this game. Did get the seismic shove to get Tien out of melee range. And then I was thinking, well, okay, Xiaohu, he's got the Vi ult onto him at this point. Surely that's a problem. But the combo from Vikla is out of range this time. Xiaohu gets to flick back to one of his return pads because Vikla went too far forward looking for that combo onto the LeBlanc. Couldn't quite get it. And then Xiaohu gets enough damage done, even buys an extra auto attack from Diablo from sidestepping it. And I think Weibo largely win this because they were able to bring members to the fight in drips and drabs and not make it into a true 5v5 where they've been losing.
Nice angle from Crisp as well there on the Rakan. Very nicely played, and they do get that shut down as well. The LeBlanc comes away from that with 3 kills.
Which is, oh, we were just saying, wow, they could be 1,000 gold ahead if they have 3 kills. Well, they have that now. Vikla doesn't even have first item, stopped off the Merc Treads, really wants the Seraphs, but is a ways off of that, even on the, well, I mean, this here stacking takes a little while anyway, but Vikla's been really, really punished. Great play from Xiaohu to do that. I don't know what's happening with this screen flickering, man. It's a thing. Gets the chain on.
Yeah, there's not a lot we get to do about that, unfortunately. It's very annoying. But there we go. It is what it is. Maybe it's the ham in the servers, Alex. Froggen has got to them.
If anyone's watching any other streams, are they also having the flicker, or is it just us? Yeah, go. Because if it is that, then maybe I just have to go, like, find it. I'll figure out another way to do it. We'll figure it out. I don't know, Amber. I don't know if it's the other streamer or if it's us. I mean, I've just put a browser source into my OBS, and I've hoped for the best, and I think it's fine. But, yeah, you know what I can do? Streamer's having a seizure? Yeah, it's doing a thing. You know what Look, okay, we'll see. We'll see. If anyone has actually seen it happen on other streams, let us know. Because if it is us, we'll try and fix it. If not, well, there ain't much we can do, right?
Yeah, is LPL English having the same issue, basically?
True. I don't see flickering. Okay, cool. Good to know. It's fine, not that bad. Cool. Fair play them. Whatever, we'll just keep on going. Herald started up. Do BFX contest. Clear doesn't have ult here. It's going to get double knockup, actually.
That's not bad at all. Can look for the reactivation of the Call of the Forge God. Clear is going to get blasted. And that Rumble doesn't get to survive all that long in the grand scheme of things. Xiaohu now on a potential flank angle. Can look for some more. The seismic shove lands, but it's only onto the clone. Not really what they're looking for. Gets O back over the wall. The headbutt pulverize was used, though. And that means that Kellen's in danger. Is going to have to burn the ult. The old shock laser. Fantastic. Oh, the multi-man knockup. Crisp again with some wonder plays. They do finally bring down TM, but I think the damage in many ways is done. Diablo is trying, though. Sees the angle. Has to slide away with the spark surge. Breathe low. Still trying to find the angle. What is the observer doing? Going back and forth and back and forth. They see what Diablo's doing. Oh, my days, the feather pull.
But Diablo gets the extra kill out of that. That Zeri is very, very scary. BFX managed to pick up something on the end of the fight, make it a, what was that, a 2 for 2, or was that a 3 for 2? I think there was an extra respawn coming through. 2.4k gold lead for Diablo on the Zeri. And with BNK Fearex, as it so often happens, Diablo is the guy you have to watch. You have to watch this guy. Breathe gets the double knockup, and because Diablo has flash, they choose not to fully combo into him. Doesn't quite get the angle right on the Call of the Forge God. They do take down the Rumble. Of course, he didn't have the equalizer, but taking down the extra damage source is nice. Diablo just manages to find a way, though, to just continually get DPS, and that flash on Zeri keeps them safe. I think at this point, it's too far. At this point, it gets a little too far. I know the Cyclone looks good, but Diablo is not going to get threatened at this point. Diablo just gets to keep just ripping through them, and they don't have the damage left at this point.
And Featherstorm came out, and it was looking pretty alright. Basically, Breathe gets picked up just at the end of it all. Tired of the old shock laser, I think they could have gone for a bit more. The feather pull, solid to deny too much more.
Quick point, which has been correct in chat, by the way. It is completely correct. BFX, there should be 2 dragons taken, because we're on the Ocean Rift already. We're on the Ocean Rift already. The Rift has transformed. We only see 1 dragon at the top of the score. So I think we've seen this a couple of times this tournament. I think the overlay is a little bit broken here, folks. And as you can see, the flickering does continue.
And the flickering, it's literally showing us like a magnified UI when they do. So I think they're just having a bit of an issue on their end by the looks of it, because that's not like it's.
Oh, Xiaohu might be able to get the chain here. Does double sigil trade.
It's not bad. Sigils of Malice procced pretty well there.
I actually wonder whether he could have done the just stayed in the queue and just got the chain activation, get like that huge trade, and could have gone for a full kill. LPL English has it too. All right, so it is on ASI's side of things. All right, it is what it is. Have a seizure with us together, folks. Yay!
Yay! We can enjoy ASI with all of its technical glory. This is the problem of trying to contain God Guo's power.
Yeah. The Grasshopper has decided that you must train your eyes as well as your brain. Is this best of 5? No, it is best of 3 until finals. Hang on a second. He's going. Hang on a second.
Hang on. That's not bad. Remember, Diablo doesn't have the flash. They can look for some more. The quickness comes on down, and Diablo has stayed too close. Gets a lightning crash, but is unfortunately for him grounded. They turn it around onto the Rakan, but Kellen is still low. In the backside with the cease and desist, the equalizer across multiple members, but the ethereal chains gonna chunk out another flash away from Raptor, keeps him alive.
And it ends up being a 2 for 1. Diablo dies. The feather pullback from Light doesn't get the damage he needs. And BFX walk away with a 1 trade. The angle was good. Wukong Rakan is a hell of a combo, because the Rakan can always kind of like E forward onto the clone or onto the invisible Wukong and get something crazy engage range. But right there, they just didn't quite have the ability to take down the second and third member of BFX that came to support them. Diablo does die. Yes, it was a good punish at the flashless AD carry. Dragon is alive, but I mean, with Tien dead, do you still feel like you can go with this? Maybe you can start it up, hope that Tien gets there in time for the smite. By the time it dies, I don't know if they can.
FearX burned every ultimate in that play. That's the thing that they have burned, and a lot of flashes. So actually, I still think Weibo probably can still contest this because they don't have
They
big
can
ult
contest,
players.
but the problem is BFX might... they're going to have better positioning on it, because Weibo are now going to have to retake the pit. So, Dragon's going to start getting DPS. Tien's coming out of base a little late. That's a teleport in from LeBlanc, who has 2 items, has the Crypt Bloom. So we'll have the extra pen. They have to give it over. They don't want to walk into the Fog of War. BFX use the fact that Tien was dead to walk in, take the Dragon, before Weibo can really set up the map in their advantage.
Yeah, we're going to see, though, that Weibo Gaming walking up to this turret are going to say, yeah, but you've got no ults. You couldn't get here in time. This tier 2 is likely going to be ours. They don't actually have the most turret damage, though, and Breathe has the Bellows Breath, the Seismic Shot, but the Call of the Forge.
That's a good angle.
Members could really sting. Flash away from one. They get the charm, and they chunk onto Raptor. He doesn't get an opportunity to get over the walls. Shunned up by the Ethereal Chains. Decent healing. Redemption comes on down. Seismic Shove, my days. They do turn it around well enough, but they lose their jungler. Clear now in danger as Tien went looking to get over the wall and can't quite get what he was looking for.
So jungle for support, does that mean they can go Atacalm with no smite on the table? I don't think so. I don't think they can kill it quick enough. Inner turret just about lives. Weibo do have the 3 grubs. Great damage on towers.
Clear.
BFX, hang on a second, Clear doesn't have that equalizer. Had a good one in that last fight.
They don't want to give this up. Look at Light in a bit of a weird angle here. Once again, Weibo Gaming, some of their positioning and their team fight shapes have been a bit awkward here.
Flash away from the combo.
Yeah.
Atacalm is on the top side of the map, and Dragon's already down, so it's not like BFX were trying to hold Weibo away from an objective. I think they were just looking to see what summoners they could get off of that. Big problem for Weibo in the next fight. Diablo has flashback, and he's about to hit 3 items, which is, you know, that is certified Zeri moments incoming.
He's 2,500 gold ahead.
Yep.
Not, in fairness, that Xiaohu isn't a similarly significant lead ahead on his own side, with the Spellslinger's boot shoes, with the Dark Seal stacks, the 2 items. He definitely stinks.
BFX is at Drake Point. Technically they should be, right? Because there is a dragon missing from the scoreboard, folks. Because this is Ocean Rift.
Yeah.
There's only 2 dragons taken, and there's an Ocean Dragon, so there is actually one which is not there.
Yeah, so we're assuming BFX have it.
Yeah, although I would be lying if I said I remembered them taking that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look over, like, the hotbars to see whether I see anything there.
That's a fair point, actually. And you won't see it, though, sadly, for them. You'd have to, you won't see all 3. Hang on a second. Raptor spotted on that, going for the ult, trading it with Desires.
That's going to be the Featherstorm, as you were saying. They're on a potential angle here, but so is Xiao, who can look to get on top of Clear. Clear didn't spot him in time. Oh, he got surprised. The LeBlanc gets so much damage. The equalizer's a panic one, and they've blown at the Rumble. Call of the Forge God can look to catch up multiple members. Raptor knocked up now as well into a massive chunk on the jungler, who does get saved briefly by the Seismic Shove, but it's a clone that takes the Seismic Shove damage on the whole. Diablo exhausted, gets knocked down by the Nimbus Strike and the Crushing Blow, and Kellen now is going to be stakes for Weibo Gaming. A clean fight finally after Xiao, who jump scares the Rumble.
Weibo have been really effective at taking the long-range Ornn ultimate, the ability for LeBlanc to close the distance so well too, to pick off people from BFX who aren't part of the death ball. Just as you were saying there, Clay was a little bit jump scared, he was a little bit too far away from his team, and that's where the engage range of Weibo is insane. Wukong very good at reaching long-range targets, Crisp as well, the chain comes over the wall, and Claire dies very, very quickly. You're fighting from a 5v4, the Call of the Forge God splits over the team as well, so Raptor can't really do much, of course his ult's already down as well, and then at this point you are completely corralled, stuck in amongst multiple Weibo members, and even Diablo at this point of power can't get the guns pointed in all directions to take the team fight.
Hit by the quickness into an exhaust at that point, even with 3 items, Azeri's going to struggle. Does go down, a minute and a half or so until Dragon, and we come back and the scoreboard has been fixed in the replay. We can indeed see that it is FearX with soul points.
There we go. Okay, I think they've fixed that now. Are we seriously not going to talk about this FearX's positioning against the LeBlanc? That's pretty much what we were saying just there in fairness.
Yeah.
We're on the same page there, don't you worry, we're on the same page. BFX, they can't afford to split too far. We have a 10-stack Magi's on LeBlanc now. I think we've seen the blueprint now. BFX will lose fights if they split up far enough that the engage range and the mobility of Weibo win the fight. And BFX are winning fights if they get to group up and they get to play as a 5-man unit that can peel for the Zeri.
Breathe now under this turret versus 4. I think he does need to leave. There's the Bellows Breath, but he's used it a little early. And he's not going to be allowed to leave. He's going to be pulled back and Deicide is committed.
Where is your god now? He's in the grey screen. Inner turret traded for inner turret. Weibo do have 3 grubs. They're quicker at pushing turrets even with less members. The extra kill goes to BFX, of course, there too. Didn't actually see who picked it up exactly, but it's a little bit of gold in pocket. So inner turret for inner turret traded.
But the additional kill there does feel pretty good. Zeri picks it up again. Oh my god, he's 7 kills deep now.
Is the Raptor vision indicator bugged? Yeah, he won't have that. The eyes above his head, they are that shouldn't have lasted that long, even if it was from the Scryer's Bloom. Dragon now up in 20 seconds. BFX would get Ocean Soul. They would get Ocean Soul for this. Now, I will say, not the kind of game where Ocean Soul completely wins it. Hang on a second, combat into the Talia.
That's good with the Equalizer on top of it. They got shoved off the top of it. Doesn't matter. He still falls down very easily. Diablo keeping Crisp off the back end.
They've just killed the jungler before Soul.
That's massive. That is absolutely massive. Call of Force Squad now coming on through. Can look to turn this one around on top of their own jungler. Raptor has to flash out. Well, Redemption will probably keep him safe all the while. Crisp into the backline gets on top of Diablo. But can they turn it around? Does anyone? Breathe is really low. Clear doing so much stuff. The Ultra Shock Laser. Xiaohu low. Diablo basically untouched. Running at light saying, come over here and 1v1 me, fool.
Diablo loses a lot of HP. Hang on a second. Diablo's lost a lot of turret damage to the turret. Light goes down. Diablo is safe.
Just about. Xiaohu can't quite finish the kill as Vikler cleans up the AD carry. 3 dead for Weibo Gaming just before Soul. Raptor survived his eager engage, and now Therex can claim the Ocean
Reminder,
Soul.
folks, Weibo lose this game. They're out of the tournament, and it's just LCK Autumn. Be the best of the rest from LCK fighting off for a minor title here, I suppose. Weibo, they were the ones that were picked off, as you were saying just there. And BFX, they find a way to just start the fight on their terms and fight around a grouped-up team fight. Tien doesn't realize that Talia is over the other side. The danger of Vi Talia is if the Talia is in range to follow up of the Vi, then it is just instant death. Loads of CC, mixed damage with a bunch of numbers behind it. And you can just see that, you know, Breathe, he teleports in trying to support his jungler, but it's just a little too late. And not really in the best position either. Buys the fight a little bit more time for BFX, actually. Just means it continues it, and Diablo just gets to keep putting out DPS.
And Light, again, not really in the best position to do his own damage. Was kind of zoned off by the Alistair, got under his own turret, got chunked out by Diablo regardless. And the Xayah has really struggled in a lot of these fights that have kind of not come on Weibo Gaming's terms to find good positioning, find good damage output. He's now going to find themselves dying in an unfortunate manner there towards Vikler, who hadn't had the easiest start to the game either, but now they've got to face check a very Dark River versus Ocean Soul and a Baron that's alive.
BFX. This is good for BFX, I think. As long as they were taking fights like this for BFX, the grouped up fights work better for them. BFX need to be aware that if they split someone off too far, that's when the problems start. But look, if Weibo are all grouped as 5 on the same part of the screen, I do worry for them. I don't know if they win these fights. Well, they definitely haven't been winning the 5v5 so far this game like that.
Upgraded Luden's Companion for Xiaohu. He's going to need a large one as well. If he can find a combo onto Diablo of all people, perhaps, that might be a way to get back in somewhat. Mortal Shield Boat makes that slightly trickier, but I think you are very reliant on this LeBlanc to find big value. Kellen goes in, jumps onto Xiaohu immediately, but he likely will survive here. The exhaust comes down. Kellen low. Breathe flashes over the Weaver's wall.
Oh, the flip back.
Breathe, and that probably means the Orm will fall, and does indeed. Thunderstorm now comes on up. Maybe this plays for that regardless.
Flashing
looking to get him in. That's not bad. Chris doesn't get onto Diablo, who slides away with the Spark Surge, and again, the Zeri is untouched. Diablo's positioning, his placement, his movement, his schmovement. It's all ice skating out here, and it's elegant, and he comes away, now 11-3.
And it's just such a Zeri game. Diablo has been doing so much work for BFX in these fights. Weibo try to find the AD carry in the back of the fight with Tien and Crisp, and they don't reach him. That's the only thing which mattered in that fight. Can they reach the Zeri with their big engage? The answer was no. BFX, they already have the soul. They'll get themselves a Baron, and Weibo, this might be the last game we see of them at the tournament.
Let's have a look at that one again. Xiaohu hops forward, and you wonder what they're killing. And maybe gone a little deep because Xiaohu just gets to hop back towards his glow, and you're thinking, well, there's an angle here. And then Breathe just can't get far enough away and gets blown up.
He gets blown up because of the extra follow-up CC, and there's no real threat onto BFX. It's not like anyone's really doing damage. He tries to flash or get the E, but Diablo doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
If Diablo was caught, this might be okay, but even then, I don't know if Light and Xiaohu were in range to do damage. Clear did a very good job of stepping forward and saying, all right, go on then. I'll put the Flame Spitter on, and you're not reaching Zeri without taking a ton of damage from the Rumble.
You still have to go through the Flame Pit. Exactly. Very tricky.
Weibo just taking single direction fights, just going front to back. It's just not going to work for them. It's just not going to work for them. And now it's a problem where 5k down against an Ocean Soul, against the Baron. This might be the last hurrah of Weibo and the last game we see of them this year.
BFX have taken on from Sandbox. Little note in chat saying it feels like a little bit like when they were playing around Prince as Sandbox. And there's probably some truth to that. You have got the hyper carry, AD carry, and Diablo superstar coming on up here. 5 items, 7,000 gold ahead. This was a game to make you remember Diablo's name. There he is now.
I just don't see how Weibo, from this point on the map, can get themselves the angles they need. They need to somehow find an extra angle to the fight, and it's so hard to do. It's also very risky to do that versus a Vi. If it's Vi who's there on the flank, then actually she can lock you down and maybe you die anyway. BFX in a dominant position now. Clear starting to go forward with the Electric Harpoons. I think he's had a very good game on the Rumble. Make no mistake, I think he's Diablo that's walking away with probably yet another MVP, because goddamn, he's very good at hyperscaling AD carries, amongst other things. BFX, they're just playing it simple, keeping themselves in a defensive formation. Actually, Clear was actually a little worried there. Didn't have Flash, a little bit far from the rest of his team. Team break the top lane inhibitor turret.
But the turret goes on down.
7,000 gold advantage for Diablo, by the way.
Yeah, now 7.3 as well. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's not a bad angle onto Clear. Good damage onto Cal. Into the backline goes the rest of the squad. Clear goes golden. And Diablo finally brings down the Storm, though. And the moment the Zeri starts firing, things start turning around as Light gets eviscerated, snuffed out. Xiaohu, caught outside of his own base with Breathe, is losing the 1v1 with the Zeri. Little orphan from Zorn, doing a lot more work than the Forge God from Felyod. Xiaohu does blow up the Vi, but again, it's one moment you get to see Ultra Shot.
It is a silver lining
HP.
at best, and Weibo go to the pearly gates, but instead they find El Diablo, or rather, El Diablo. BFX will take the series and knock Weibo out of the tournament.
There's the win for FearX. Weibo go. And what a win it will be. Diablo, absolute monster today. Incredible performance from the Zeri.
Yeah, high HP lanes.
A big one. That's a big one. And there is quite a lot of tanky members on the side of... Who was on blue side briefly. I'm going to have to wait till I see the logos. Oh, there's a little FearX Jackrabbit. That's quite cute. It's Nonchalant. Wait, hang on. Who logged what? No, my brain has failed me. Diablo, of course, also just coming off the back of a phenomenal Zeri game, but has just played a series less than half an hour ago. Was ended up in this position where immediately they have to drop into the next series. So this gauntlet is certainly a wild ride full of tribulations.
One of the biggest complaints that we had about BFX versus D plus Kia was their team fighting was worse than D plus Kia's by quite a way, actually. D plus Kia really mechanically outplayed them. The team fights were very good. BFX just destroyed Weibo on that, which is interesting because Weibo beat DK.
They did.
Big team fights, actually, largely. So we've got this kind of, you know, circle of who the heck's actually getting the best team fights out of themselves right now. If BFX are on good team fighting form today, then we might see a better result from them and set up a rematch for them versus DK. Of course, they also played against Nongshim in the group stage. They beat them 2-1. The first game we had between them, I think, had 3 Elder Dragons in one of our very first series of the tournament. It was a banger, peak Fries gaming, and I mean that in a positive sense. It was very high entertainment, with just everyone just trying to mechanically outplay where they can. BFX though, we have the Taeyun swap. Right, okay, so Jiwoo has gone towards topside. This is the Taeyun swap, debuted by Team WE a month ago at this point or whatever. They were doing it in scrims before that as well. They've popularized this trend, which means that you trade your top laner and AD carry for the first levels of the game, meaning that your AD carry can bully out what otherwise would have been a bad matchup for your top laner.
One. Thank you very much for the gifted sub, by the way, Chef Kev. I'm sure Xiaomshu has also been given the shout out for the gifted subs, which is pretty awesome.
What do you like to cook, Chef Kev?
Well, yeah, is it Kev's? Do you cook Chef Kev's, or are you a chef named Kev?
Yeah, how many Kevs can you cook in dinner? How long does it take to cook?
Are you like Dexter's chef? Or I was going for like people who kill people, and then therefore you need a chef.
Does Dexter? I don't know about Dexter. Does Dexter kill people?
Yeah, he does. He's like the serial killer guy.
Oh, okay, right.
It's quite a famous TV show at the minute.
It's been pretty famous for a little while. I've heard good things about it.
I need to watch it at some point.
About 7, right? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's true. About 7 there are.
Kellen becoming an extra minion for this one wave. Yeah.
He got the execute as the minion passive. That minion hits hard. Boom.
I had there was a really funny, hang on a second, going up towards the level 1 Cocoon, trying to do some shenanigans. The thing about the Taeyun swap is that it does mean low XP support roams very early into the game can be very impactful. We've seen a lot of them. Raptor coming mid, stun landed.
Alex is going to adjust his punch forwards. That could be a bit of an error, but he gets the phase rush from it, and therefore it's fine.
Exactly. It's kind of like Do you think it's aggressive? Oh, actually, Phase Rush, that means you can make it out safely. I mean, if you had Aftershock on Galio, you couldn't do that. Now, that's one of the reasons why Phase Rush has been quite important in mid lane Galio for a while, despite the fact that Aftershock is very important for not just survivability on Galio, but also gives you extra damage from your passive, which scales off a magic resist. Phase Rush means you can get the big combo, and then you can go back into, hey, Jay, raiding over. How you doing? Hope you've had a good time. Galen taking a ton of damage. Lens does have flash, chooses not to go forwards for any more damage, is only at level 2, and they'll make it out alive.
Chunk there onto Diablo, who is actually in a really nasty 1v1. I think he just loses it. That's a bit far enough. An MVP performance on the Zeri ends up on Nymaera and loses what should have been the easy 2 swap.
I wonder whether King has had any famous MVPs before.
Stop it.
I do wonder. King
Stop it.
Solo kill on the Ornn versus the Nymaera. As you're absolutely right. I mean, when you have the Taeyun swap, typically both AD carries get something out of it because it's the top laners who are kind of soaking XP and not really trading that hard. King and getting a kill there is a massive trade up. Nongshim have a little bit more gold on the Ornn.
Got noodles again, Alex.
Don't do the sound effects, Sam.
I won't.
Sam,
I'll save it for a dramatically appropriate moment.
Yeah, Sam debuted his... I can only describe it as noodle motorboating the other day.
Well, it was a pretty accurate impression of how you eat noodles, which you've been over.
Sam, no, it is not.
It is. That's how
I'm a very reserved I'm not a reserved eater of noodles, but I don't quite do that, you know? Hang on, Calyx has just used his Phase Rush. Stun comes in, Root comes in after he's in trouble here.
Let's get a fair amount of damage down onto Calyx, who needs to start backing away, actually. Good chunks from Vikla. Ooh, the shield. And the resist from the Shield of Durand. That's the name of it. I said shield into Shield of Durand, which was inappropriate phrasing. I could have done that better.
Yeah, and technically, Sam, it's damage reduction, not resist from the W as well.
Fine. That actually does make, that's actually quite important too.
It is, yeah.
I'll also be very interested to see how the Galio builds. We've actually seen a lot of very aggressive Galio builds as well. Just go literally raw AP, not even bruiser builds. We saw Xiaohu do that the other day. Went rocket belt into burst.
I just had to follow to let Sam know I want his noodle motorboating noises.
Thank you, Bendy Bread. That's really important.
Potential steal on the dragon, getting coming into the pits.
Nongshim moment. Potentially these noodles might be getting to value. Time to heat them up. Stick some hot water on them, and now the dragon goes, heats it up. There we go. Getting a lot of value. By just walking in and contesting the dragon.
Oh, God,
you are so welcome, Bendy Bread, by the way. You just empowered me to be very silly.
In case you're ever wondering what you can get away with on a co-stream with your actual brother, that's, Why do I let him on here? Why? Sometimes I rethink our agreement here. Raptor coming into a spot side doesn't have the flash to follow up with the EQ.
Oh, I'm so easily enabled.
The worst thing is, so one thing which I notice is, look, we have a couple of channels which use our VODs as the highlights, but they'll do like, oh, when a kills come in, we'll put that short, like 10-second segments of the kills, and then Dragon takes an objective take. Sam, that's going to be on. That's going to be on the highlight videos.
It is.
And sometimes that's
going to be great.
Do I do something normal for the highlights just so the viewers don't have the zero context shenanigans we have? No. Mika Crow, thanks for the sub there.
Yeah, I've done that. You know why you got that sub, Alex?
Because of the new.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I've earned it for you guys.
I do appreciate how much you full send it there. By the way, that Dragon Steel was literally a 30 HP Dragon Steel.
It was great.
It was kind of overshadowed by whatever whatever in the hell the boss Nass that was from the Phantom Menace, the Nongshim Menace.
The Nongshim Menace. Yeah. At last, we shall show
and then we'll have Attack of the Fox afterwards.
Very good, very good.
Well, technically, it was Attack of the Clones.
And then will it be Revenge of the Kia?
Perhaps we haven't got that so far. Oh, Jesus.
And we got, of course, the next series after that will be Worlds. Will be a new Worlds.
That just sounds too Disney then, and that's before the Disney era, because that just sounds like a whole new world.
I mean, we could do a mashup if you want. Do you want to start this?
I do kind of miss it. Was TB Skyen that was doing a load of the Disney parodies in League context, which was very, very funny. I think there was like You've Never Had a Jungler Like Me. I think he did, which was really cool. I can't remember which player that was about, but that was years and years ago. Hey, I've got a question. Can you give me an example of a famous match where two top-tier players, like LCK, LPL Caliber, both played bad? Like, if you had to think of a bad match where both teams played Circus, what match would it be?
I'd have to think about that, because I'm not sure those have stuck quite as freely.
Thing is, though, I definitely remember some shenanigan matches. We've definitely had that before.
Yeah.
We've had, The thing is, what I initially go to is like very entertaining high kill matches, and that's not necessarily playing badly, because there was a 2 kill a minute BLG Weibo game in Game 3 of Upper Bracket Finals Summer 24, so this time last year. That was 2 kills a minute. That was nuts. That was kind of insane, actually. Hang on, barrier popped into upside. Diablo caught out.
Has to ult and try and dodge away with the untouchable shadow, but he is a little bit too touchable and get punched in the face by the Corki.
That's his second death this game now. Blown both to summoners and still dies, and of course he was solo killed by Kingen in the Taeyun swap earlier.
Just got baited by the Elise Cocoon, got hit by it, had no cleanse and dies.
Is that Vedius in the back? I swear to God. I swear to God.
It's Nymaera.
As Dom. Hang on. There might be a flag dragon to a dunk here. Oh, that's a well-timed E.
Not bad at all from Kingen.
That's my World's 22 MVP.
Does he have a skin on this champion?
Not on this one.
What does he have a skin on?
God, he's pretty damn good at his tank gameplay. Now, it turns out we just have very similar voices of Vedius. I get to work with him on the LEC, which is very cool, and very confusing for everyone listening in, because, of course, Vedius is one of the most famous casters in the world. We like to, give you a mental workout as well as, I don't know what other kind of workouts you get while you're in watching League of Legends. So Diablo walks up trying to get the, oh my God,
so nice.
Nasty Cocoon. He tries to walk up to get the 1v1, did have a level 7 to level 6 power spike there, and thought, G with the cleanse, maybe we can get a good play there. Just didn't realize that Lehens was there.
And the Elise does the Elise things, and again, if you're looking at the Elise support player, it is Lehens. He was doing this for years and years and years before it became meta towards, say, the end of last year.
The joke was, when Lehens came up on Griffin, it was, oh, well, there's a meme that in his contract, he will always, he's obligated to have an Elise support game every year. Like, you have to give him an Elise support game at some point in the year, because he was so famous for doing it. He also did Singe support. And he used to do that into Callista, because you'd drop the goop on them, and they couldn't jump, because they were grounded. It was very, very funny.
Yeah, and there is a world, right, where we get Lehens versus Beryl in the finals.
That's
Two of
so
them,
funny.
The most mad scientist of chefs we've got in the support role from the LCK.
Oh, I love the both of them. I love the both of them. They're very fun players. And of course, someone was saying in chat earlier that Beryl might be retiring after this year as well. Of course, he's had a pretty long career.
I mean, won 2 world championships.
Beryl is one of those players which I think will be remembered in very varying ways, but I think fondly. Like, I think Beryl is one of those players where he's just been such a character. The whole, like, by the way, I'm making a world skin which looks like my waifu in a gacha game. And just playing just the kookiest stuff. Insing carrying, but never a coward. Dragon now started by Nongshim.
Vikla, on a flank angle, will have that ability to flash on in. The Cocoon lands. Lehens looking to jump on the Annie. Gets her down to half. Nice repel from Lehens. Goes up and down again. Will likely be in danger here. May end up trading their life out, but actually just gets to run away as the call of the fortress coming on through. They're trying to run away at BFX in danger. Now they have to back off. Good stun onto Lehens, who does die a little bit too far there from the Elise, who gets hit with the can of Raid. Into the river and the jungle we go, as Clear jumps onto the Galio, who will be forced to ult out. Rock of Ruin, looking to jump forward. Massive knock-up though. Kellen low, looking for the shielded around torch. It's brutal. Trying to get some more damage back as Jiwoo trying to get some damage down as well. Clear with the flame spreader full HP bar though will help Fearex pick up absolutely everyone they can.
BFX end up winning the fight. They do lose the dragon, even though Nongshim get themselves that great knockup from King, and the damage wasn't quite there, and Diablo gets to put down the hurt after having a bit of a rough early game. You can see that his team fighting presence is really big. Cocoon landed onto Victor at first, which led to some questions here. Okay, the Annie's at half HP, maybe they can get taken down, but at the end of the day, it's not like it's really led to, that much of a HP differential. Lehens also loses almost all of his HP. King misses his flash knockup here. Very, very close to catching out Kellen, getting a free kill. Because that misses, Kellen gets to live, Victor gets to turn around, kill onto Lehens, and it's full retreat mode for Nongshim.
And he tried to Hero's Entrance out. It buys a bit of time, and you can see what the angle is here. Like, look, we've got to try and turn around it because otherwise we're all dead. It's a great knock-up this time, but you've already lost your Elise. Jiwoo's got no mana.
And Jiwoo was also rooted by the Nico midway through that fight. So you could see there that the root, I think it passed through someone in front of him too, so with Nico, it does double the length of the CC if it passes through a target first. That was a really important route there from Kellen to stop Jiwoo with the little mana he had, getting that burst follow-up onto the knock-up of Kingen.
Galio gets a decent chunk there onto the Rumble, and for all that the Galio was mid lane to start with, is now matched up against the Rumble, and notoriously, of course, Galio is a pretty solid matchup into the Rumble. It is looking like a tank build from the Galio as well. It is worth checking in on that because of how many varieties of Galio they'll be see these days, between Bruiser and full AP both being viable.
Well, thanks for the follow, Bombaclot.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
One of my this is a tangent, Alex.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
inspired by
then.
that specifically.
You've got a bit of time.
Have you seen there's a really great voice actor on Instagram and TikTok who does Jamaican dubs of various
I've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh one.
So he does Yu-Gi-Oh, but like as a Jamaican dub.
What was it again? Was it Obelix, the bad man?
yes. Yeah, and it was like it's Exodia, the Wicked One. This is just so good. It's man. But obviously he does incredible ones.
Also, the thing for me is like, I mean, like a lot of people, joke about the vernacular of like Jamaican stuff. I genuinely find a lot of the creators doing it as a love letter to patois. Like, there's a guy that actually made national newspapers in Jamaica doing a Jamaican Princess Diana impression. The guy's very, very white, but like it kind of makes it funnier because he has a similar facial structure to Diana as well. But he actually made like national newspapers in Jamaica. Very, very funny. Anyway, right, back into the game as we took a tangent, folks. We do that every so often. Clear is on the weak side of the map. Gideon is spotted. I think Clear's safe to just walk away. He has the equalizer to clear a wave if he does feel the need to do that. It won't die on this wave. Might clear out the second one if he's allowed to. Oh, actually, I'm completely wrong. 3 grubs. Yeah, they will kill on this wave, and the spiderlings help too.
They do manage to get that one down very happily. Grubs plus volatile skittering frenzy. That's the spider form W.
This is something which, and also this is something which BLG did actually.
Correct.
BLG,
yes.
I think, of the teams this year which have played Elise support, BLG have been the ones which have impressed me the most in terms of lane dominance. And then what they also do is they rotate the Elise around the map to help take towers, but also get a little bit of extra gold onto the Elise if they can, because Elise with gold does actually make a difference. Hang on, Vic, trying to look for the stun. It goes on that clone.
Oh, we've seen that quite a lot lately, actually.
For they were all of them deceived. For another jungler was made, and it's just the Wukong clone in front of them. Ook. Yeah, the librarian of Ankh-Morpork's Unseen University will be hearing about this one.
Spider form here. Aggressively doesn't want to play that. Won't go chasing too much further, but I think Kellen and Raptors go, okay, we need to leave.
Folks, I gotta say, Vikler has had an interesting tournament. His early games have largely been not great. Yeah. I will say his late game teamfights have been pretty damn good, especially in that last game against Weibo. He was actually doing a pretty large amount of work there. But, not a great stun there from Vikler. Whatever, at the end of the day, he has Malignance and cooldown boots. Not the longest cooldown, but oops.
Herald made back away. Gideon attacks the Scuttle Crab. Claire is standing in a bush. Coming through mid lane a little bit there. Not too much to see who got the Herald. It's Gideon. For some reason I thought it was going to be on the Elise. I don't know why I had that in my brain.
I was just thinking about the orangutan librarian from Unseen University. Kellen looking for a root goal potentially. That's a Q instead.
Okay. Herald dropped mid. Would be so point for Nongshim worth noting, and they're going to be able to play with this Herald saying, if you're going for the dragon, we're going to take this opportunity. The problem is Diablo and Kellen are kind of behind, and they will root up the Elise, who has not had a chance to repel. Will need to do so now. Kellen goes in. Doesn't need to find absolutely everything once. Diablo does finish off the spider, as they will get that one. It's a 1-for-1 right now. It's on the other side, of course. Gideon rather, got onto the back line with Vikler going down.
With 2 LPL brains, it's Fry's gaming!
I know. It's because I saw bloody... Okay, I'm going to stop. It's all gone wrong.
Flashing out. Clear does have the flash if he wants to continue the fight. Ends up being 2 for 3 in favor of BFX. Lahan's caught as he exited the Herald, so Diablo picked up a pretty free kill there. Nongshim doing alright at firing back. Did get the Herald into mid lane, so a lot of damage down on that one. We'll watch the replay to figure out what happened on the other side of the fight there. You good? Lahan's free kill there. Jarvan Galio. Not Jarvan Galio. Oh my god, I mixed it up. Oh, it's Jarvan and a Galio. Definitely they got to be on the combo on the same together. Jarvan Rumble, of course, took a lot of damage. Decent knockup from King in there to get 1 kill back onto Raptor.
Of course, Diablo's still surviving at this point as well. Went absolutely ham. And back to life. Okay, well, there's the head's dead again. Now 0-3-1 after the early kill he picked up onto Diablo. It's been tough roads for the Spider. The dragon's still alive, by the way, but FearX now finding another big team fight when he can go and pick up that dragon. 0-3 on the Spider. Lahan's very famous for his Elise, but it's been struggle streets in here for him. BFX taking a significant gold lead now, and I think one of the biggest things that we have noticed from BFX from, say, yesterday when they lost that series to today is it does feel like they're grouped up for team fights
are significantly better. Stream just quickly freezing, and then it'll restart. It'll do that thing where it freezes and then maybe pops forward a little bit. Just caught out, no damage really nearby. One of my problems with comps like this, when you have like a tank Galio, a tank top laner as well in the Ornn, having damage in place to immediately skirmish feels a lot harder. If you're not really in position across the map, hang on, I think Vipla's not going to get the clone this time.
I think that Cyclone is not going to change all that much, and Gideon will die to Diablo, who has now managed to pick up another kill, now at 5. He's getting very scary on this Nymaera after a rough early start, went 0-2, and is now right back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's really happy now. I think he's really, really happy, because BFX feels like they are picking up a lot of kills across the place just randomly, and Nongshim, they need to do a better job of making sure that their damage is in the right place to support people when they're caught out.
And it does feel like the last 5 minutes or so, what felt like a pretty okay game for Nongshim has just fallen apart. A couple big fights have gone very wrong for them, and they've given up a lot of gold, particularly to that Zeri, which is very problematic. Who's going to be the main carry in this game? Well, you've got a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but a Nymaera getting ahead of curve is not what you want to see.
Do you have a favorite kind of fries, Sam?
I quite like curly fries.
Curly fries are pretty good.
They taste different to other fries, and I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the seasoning, or whether it's just the fact that they are like springs, and the whimsical nature of them makes me smile.
I know this is very like UK chip shop coded, but like cheesy chips are pretty damn good.
Okay, cheesy chips.
I don't know. Hang on a second, big fight there. We got all. I don't know. I don't even know how to transition out of that one. BFX going forwards and putting them into the hot pot.
Oh, and Gideon dies again. Kellen gets that catch, and all the while the spider is hit with the cannon raid once more. Set on fire while they're doing. Diablo looking to Montague will have to Valkyrie away, and will be okay having done so. But I don't think that changes the fact that BFX are in firm command of this game now.
Timid Tower might die. No, it slowly stays alive there. That's kind of started from BFX, and once again, just clean engage from BFX. Great follow-up. One of the biggest things I've noticed about BFX is that when they go for a play, they are very often on the same page. The question has been about execution, not actually whether the team understands the play. And that's actually a really important thing, because it means that the coordination, in terms of, look, we're going for the play, is kind of sorted. Now, sometimes the actual execution of it, the positioning, where's the damage, the CC chaining, that can fall a little bit awry, and that's, why perhaps they didn't reach, the top echelons of the LCK. But I've been really enjoying watching them, because when I know that when a fight starts with BFX, everyone's on board for it.
Yeah, but Alex, we could be talking about chips right now.
Yeah, okay.
And I actually think this is the truly deep cut elite option.
Yeah.
Chicken tikka and chips with cheese and mint sauce.
What?
Did you not have that from the kebab shop when it used to be run by?
No, I didn't.
So basically, our local kebab shop was run by the Indian Takeaway.
Because it was right above it. The Indian Takeaway was right above it. Yeah.
So they used to do an interesting combo, but you could get chicken tikka and chips with cheese and mint sauce and chili sauce.
Damn, that is a lot of different flavors.
£3.50.
Okay, I was about to say, surely it's like £7.
And it was great. Also, surprisingly good combo. Don't knock it till you've tried it.
I mean, look, okay, because I haven't tried it, I can't really judge.
Did you not? I suppose maybe you weren't out on one of the various pub crawls that we did as
maybe I missed
the lads.
That. Yeah. Mint Montes. Hang on a second, that's a route into the mid lane. Lahen's got it again. They bring out the can of raid again. Good damage back from Jiwoo, though.
Diablo's now in potential danger, but throws down the barrier. The Cataclysm comes on through. They just get out. They hit no one. It's an empty bottle. They've got to put it down, and no one was within it. Diablo now gets to flash on it and kills Lahens again for the 5th time this game. Calyx needs to justice punch away, but there's no justice to be found. Only abject violence. They'll find the call of the Forge God. Keep clear, knocked up under the turret, but he will not die. And now Kingin is looking a little bit deadened.
Oh, it is a nightmare for Nongshim. Kingin will die under turret. Ends up being 4 for 1. Did Calyx? Yeah, Calyx just ended up about surviving. Lahen's so close to hitting a flash cocoon in the middle of that fight. Diablo flashed away from it, took down the elites, and BFX have just been better in the grouped up fights. Nongshim, we were saying BFX, when they're looking for a fight, it feels like they're very much collapsing on the same page. Right here, feels like, I don't know, I mean, I guess Nongshim do get people in position. Jiwoo feels like he can get in and get out. Does manage to flash out of the Cataclysm. You think, well, maybe Jiwoo has actually bought a lot of cooldowns to this. But then you realize, well, he's half HP. He needs to do the damage. Victor's zoning him off. And where's the damage now? There's no one.
You can see what the idea was, but you're full sending on this Cataclysm with no one in it. It's not even your Cataclysm. It all goes a bit wrong.
Yeah, Diablo does die under the turret there, which was a little
I
awkward, but
missed
hey.
that one. That's a bit unfortunate.
I have to say, I also missed that until the replay. It's a bit of a messy one, but hey, cool.
They still get, like, literally everyone else.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking the team fight. They won it pretty well, so. Drag is now up in 25 seconds. BFX would be their second, stop a soul point for Nongshim on their third. Diablo has gone for the shield bow third, interestingly. You drop a lot of damage this way, but it doesn't mean you can play a lot more brazenly.
And in fairness, you've got damage elsewhere, and I think realistically, if you're looking at Nongshim, they've got a lot of burst. Their consistent DPS is not the best, especially from the position in the game they're at. You now to potentially collapse onto Calyx. Winds of War comes on down. Shielded Rand is in. That comes the Cataclysm. Flag and drag will not be required to allow Clear to pick up the kill there onto the Galio. Can turn back towards the Dragon, which Diablo is soloing.
And on the other side, Nongshim trying to take this inner turret, get some gold onto themselves. I don't know, I really feel like this kind of comp from Nongshim, you need to position very well, because Jiwoo needs to put out so much extra damage compared to BFX. You have, like, a lot of secondary carries. You know, like, the Rumble can do a lot of damage, the Annie can sometimes do enough to kill off a target as well. On the side of Nongshim, the Ornn will struggle to one-shot someone, obviously. The Galio's gone for tank. They're not really going to be a massive damage threat. So you really need Gideon and Jiwoo doing a lot. Because of the positioning of Nongshim and the way that BFX have managed to start fights and just say, well, okay, Jiwoo's going to be at half HP, Nongshim are not really putting the damage down that they need.
Agreed.
Dumb's tournament was so fun. Yeah, yesterday we ended up hanging around on Dumb's stream casting an arena tournament with a bunch of different content creators, including Nidhogg, who was like the king of arena YouTube content. It was really fun. It was really fun. Watley crashed out to legendary levels because of politics happening between different teams choosing each other's champions, so they were deciding, let's give ourselves good champions so we can win around.
I mean, I'm also just a big fan of who the MVP was, personally. Hang on, Pop Blossom on to Jiwoo. Just managed to Valkyrie for a second. Not the best Pop Blossom in the end. It's actually in the middle of the river. Raptor gets kind of caught out. Vikla finds a decent stun angle, though. Jiwoo is finally blasted. Diablo finds the angle, and BFX just collapse on in. The Flame Spinner's rolling. The Cataclysm's in. It's the spiciest hot one of them all. In comes a triple kill for Diablo. That's the Quadra Wesley Hens. Just not around. They can't quite finish everyone, but Diablo will be happy enough with the Quadra.
Everyone gets stuck in the meat grinder, and Diablo comes out on top. That shield bow saving his life, I think, in there too. He got pretty low HP as Nongshim tried to get some revenge for their own AD carry. Guys, you're a little bit low HP to take this barrier. You might need a little bit of help with that. They're gonna be okay. I think they'll just about be okay. Kellen will come over to I got a second Raptor.
Oh, just about all right.
Bloody hell, that was close. BFX walk away with a 5-for-none fight and the Baron after.
And this, we'll get the replay here. And Spaghetti Compiler, you just need to watch the VODs of yesterday to understand why everyone typed that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The MVP from yesterday was a magnificent feat.
Yeah, that was the thing. God, this is such a... Everyone just decides, look, we are going full melee for everyone now. Massive meat grinder. Yeah, there was a player with a very sus name which randomly joined the lobby, named whatever they're writing in chat there. And we very nearly got them to play around.
Genuinely, we were loading into game before someone realized, like, before the person's supposed to be there, going, guys, I'm not in the lobby. It was the fact was that there was a very sus name that people went, that's fine, that's just this player, that's how they are, you know.
Diablo's now at 4 items and picked up the Infinity Edge, which he skipped third for the shield bow. 10-stack Medjai's for Vikla, so he's got a little bit more damage too. Diablo, no, for King, he's caught out on top. So Calyx is behind him. Calyx, you're just watching your top laner die.
Yeah, it finally goes on in, trying to buy some time, but I think it's a little too late. Gets the taunt, but to what end? Clear now potentially in danger. Raptor starts taking up the tower aggro, and they lose 2.
Calyx sat there, watched King go down to 0 HP and realized, I don't think I'm getting out of this one either. Tries to go in a little too late. BFX will walk in with the Baron buff active and probably end the game.
Yeah, and all the while Vikla was zoning off the rest of the team between the 2 turrets. Diablo gets that one in the mid lane. There goes the inhibitor afterwards, which Raptor secures, and I think this game is well and truly done.
And it is. They've got enough damage to walk forwards. Don't have any grubs, but who gives a damn? Vikla goes golden. It's BFX. Look for the Nexus.
A bit of a takeover, and unfortunately for them, the only idol to be found is in BFX's hand. Diablo again at 11-3. What a star he has been. And BFX's star continues on the rise. The lower bracket run is looking pretty damn hot for them today.
And the rematch of groups between them and Nongshim, their group Rise brothers. Yeah, you're right. BFX don't have great engage. That's definitely true too. Thank you so much for the gift sub, by the way. Or Hugh. Not sure which way you prefer it, but Welcome in. I don't trust Vikla and Ari. Vikla was pretty good at Ari in the past. Jiwoo has been chunked out a little bit at level 1. But then again, yeah, Vikla's early game has been quite worrying. Is he just going to cancel out with the Glut Lancer? Oh, just short. So the recall does come through from Jiwoo. Jiwoo has the teleport, by the way, so he can reset once in lane as well. Only Showmaker has won the Ari into Talia matchup. Yeah, in LCK that's true. In LPL it's a little different. The Aris in LPL have been doing better as the Ari into the Talia. Partly because we have players like Care, who's an Ari one trick, and Knight is, I think, the best Ari of the modern era. The guy's insane. If the Vlad late game, if fed, is going to be scary. Now, normally I'd go... Oh, they are going for the Taeyun swap. That is surprising. So Kingen is going to be starting in bot side, so you're going to lose a lot of lane pressure. I think this might be a mistake, you know? Vladimir does nothing at the early levels. I guess you're saying, look, Smolder is going to... Smolder's going to get a load of farm and poke onto the Scion. But look at this. How can you play the level 1? Isn't this just a mistake? I think you would have preferred the Vladimir level 1 versus Scion, no? Surprised at that. Hate to break it to you, but this is the LCK, Alex. I know, and yeah, I know this is the LCK. I'm sat here as, you know... Oh, hang on, just trying to stop the recall. Does do so, uses the heal to do that. I think Nongshim have overcooked here, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I think the noodles are very boiled, but like in the overboiled way. You asked for hard noodles in the ramen, and they've come out really soft, and like, you know, when they start swelling up at that point too, and it's just like, it's not the same whatever. Texture's just all wrong. Ugh. I think they were also trying to predict BFX swapping. I think maybe, but then at the level 1, you saw Jiwoo like under bot lane tower, recall, and then go top lane. What was the mind game there? I just don't think they wanted that swap. I just don't know about it. I absolutely believe that Kingen would not pick Vlad if he wasn't sure that he would Vlad all over them. It's true, Kingen has been actually very good on the whole, individually speaking. Surprised Lulu isn't played more in pro play. I think when you've got hard engaged supports, I think Lulu sometimes dies in lane. So for instance, if you pick Nautilus against Lulu, Lulu often dies. She doesn't often have the base stats to survive that. What we saw in the past was that Lulu would go for Guardian against that kind of lane, just to have some extra bits of survivability. We used to see Renata with Guardian 2, similar, because at level 3 with Loyalty Program and Guardian, you can actually survive the engaged supports. You can't really do that now. King is left alone here. Did he use Pool? Raptor's down here. Can they just polymorph? That would be kind of bad. There's the polymorph. The W misses from the Zeri. Kellen will take 2 tower shots and drop aggro. Kingen will die all the same, though. Despite his efforts, despite all his rage, he is still just a Vlad in a cage. Kingen goes down for first blood. Goes over to Diablo as well. The Zeri gets the kill. That's disaster for Nongshim. That was almost a great line, and I flubbed up the execution, the delivery. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a Vlad in a cage. I understood that reference. You know what? It took me a long time to listen to Smashing Pumpkins. I never had any of their albums as a kid. And then I had Siamese Dream in the car I used to go to work in. So I used to listen to a lot of it then. Today and Cherub Rock. Oh, they're so good. It's a great album. There's almost no skips on that album. I don't see why you would ever put Alistar against Scion. That was a terrible sequence by Nongshim. I don't like this swap by Nongshim at all. I think it's... you're trying to scale up your Smolder and trying to help them escape with solo XP. We didn't really see what happened in the top lane matchup, but Clear still has, you know, 37 CS, doing very well though. Mayonnaise for me. Mayonnaise is... Oh, the guitar tone on Mayonnaise is insane. Very, very good. Guy's got a very recognizable voice too. Kingen gets himself some farm here. So now you're behind in AD carry matchup and in the Scion matchup in top lane too. Diablo stacking up a Cole, same as Jiwoo. I think teams need to start experimenting with putting a wave clearing mid bot lane and swapping top to mid. Is Mayonnaise an instrument? No, Patrick. Mayonnaise is not an instrument. That's a flash away from Kellen. Heal used by Lahens as well to try and get the extra move speed follow-up. Calyx gonna be safe. BFX don't have the greatest pick potential or engage, as was noted in chat earlier. That is a fair point. I just don't get what the swap logic was. I think they've overcooked. Hence, does he have... Callan doesn't have flash. They'll be able to combo it into Calix's Talia. Give a little bit of gold over towards Jiwoo, who will get himself some extra stacks and some extra gold. That's nice. Evens up the AD carry matchup. Good pick off Callan, blowing the flash earlier. Then making sure the wave was away from the turret. Good stuff. Fun fact for 14 FPFP. Let me have a think. Did you know that the dragons on Summoner's Rift are wyverns? Wyverns have no forelegs. Their wings are effectively their arms. Dragons... I mean, some people regard them the same thing, but wyverns have separate legs from the wings. They have 4 legs and also wings. 35 stacks at 6 minutes into the game isn't bad. That's true. And 43, actually pretty good on the whole. Got some from the Scion early lane. So they do have the 2 hind legs, but you can see they don't have like 4 arms, you know? They don't have arms. Yep. Not that, you know, fantasy etymology slash biology always matters, but that has often been the way that things have been determined. It's so crazy that they're playing Vlad plus Smolder, weakest early game possible. Yeah, you only need like a, I don't know, like a Cassidon mid or something. And then you have just 3 unplayable lanes. I mean, they have that kill does change things a little bit. Calix getting that early roam over, Lahen's making some big plays helps a lot. Jiwoo getting some good stacks there, by the way. Diablo's almost out of mana and is tanking some wave there. What about Drake's? Depends. Again, like, this is fantasy biology, so it's, like, not exactly hard science, you know? The ult used by Jiwoo to clear out most of the wave. We'll be able to get most of it away. Vikla coming down. Charm flashed. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was the Q that was flashed. Oh, no, he gets to splash there. It's Diablo. Even with the Charm landing, it doesn't matter. Clear trying to look for the solo kill onto topside King and using the ultimate, the Hemo play to get to healing. Gideon will be here to turn the tables. They'll flash forwards and will get the supreme display of talent. Claire has been cleared by the top jungle duo. Very close to a solo kill. Vladimir gets the gold there too. Nongshim getting 2 kills there. One, a freak kill onto Diablo with a failed dive, and then the 2v1 in topside. This is good early game gold. We're just like, oh, weakest early game possible. I mean, I guess if you just pick up random kills, does that matter? Damn, Nongshim now actually ahead of 1,000 gold. Vladimir's got a slight lead. Smolder's even. Smolder has 56 stacks at 8 minutes, which is really good before you even get any cooldown reduction or levels in your queue. Charm lands onto Vikla, but he's taking a lot of damage there. I think Therex need the next 2 dragons or it's kind of cooked. They need to start dragon stacking, you're right. If they get dragon stacking, you can start threatening before it goes like super late game scaling. Lahen's trying to look for the combo into the wall. Charm lands, should be out of combo range. Wait, actually, is that the case? Hang on, Lahen's has got a kill threat here, by the way, folks. The cow! The cow trying to solo kill the fox! Farmyard murder! Flashes away. Vikla blows his summoner. Lahen's blows his 2, but the heal for the flash. That's a win there for Lahen's. Lahen's damn near solo killed the mid laner. Supportal combat. You know, Doa is one of my very favorite casters of all time. His supportal combat line lives on in infamy. Supportal combat, the snipe killed Dumbledore, that was a good one. Hang on, teleport behind Jiwoo, coming out from Vikla. Doesn't have ult for the next few seconds, but he'll have it soon enough. Jiwoo doesn't have flash, doesn't have ult, will likely die here. The healing's not bad. Hang on, he's going to flap over the wall. Vikla needs a little bit. No, he face planted! You know when foxes hunt in the snow and they just like they face plant into the snow? He just did that on brick and mortar. He just stood there to a wall. Vikla, that was so free. Oh, Vikla. Oh, it's not been a great tournament for him, has it? I say that, they are still in the lower bracket finals, but Vikla individually has struggled here, folks. Ah, Jesus. That should have been so free. And then the thing is, Jiwoo gets a bunch of stacks out of that because he's hitting champions for the whole duration of that. He survives. Guys, he's on 82 stacks at 10 minutes. Guys, we're on track for a very fast stacking Smolder game. Dare I say it, Nongshim are in a great spot. Lahen's flashing forwards onto Vikla. He doesn't have flash or ult. Calix is over here. This is a Zedari. This is a Zedari. He can't get out in time. The charm lands. Kill towards Calix, who gets donated that one. Has the propane Hydra and propane related accessories built up already in inventory. It's been individually a pretty good game for a tournament for Vikla. I don't know if I agree. I think his early games have been really not great. His late game has been good. I think that his Talia has been good in late game, say, for instance. But every game, Vikla has been making some early game oopsies, which is worrying me. It is worrying me. Talking about players' gameplay, which team is better? I think BFX on the whole. But I think Raptor and Diablo and Callan have all actually had very good tournaments. Clear's had, you know, a bit of a mixed bag, and Vikler mixed bag too. Nymaera is not doing us justice. Yeah, we have a couple of Ari mains in chat. King and ulting the wave, trying to get some wave flip. I think he'll die anyway. The Sanguine pool. Yeah. Not enough there. Folks, I think we're on our way to a game 3 here, you know. Nongshim ahead over 1,000 gold. Calix gets that solo kill. Not solo tower. Gets the tower in the bot side. Mobile Legends Bang Bang English followed that. You know, funnily enough, a friend of mine used to be on, I think they used to be on the 12th ranked team of Mobile Legends in the world, you know. They were on Tea Time for Kittens ages ago. You catch up with them occasionally. Can you help explain how collapses like these works? Enemy bot jungle is completely empty, so the Alistar shouldn't the Alistar be sprinting top instead of camping blue buff? You don't want to be sending an alone support into enemy vision. A lot of the time, the top laner will sometimes just accept a death if they can get the wave because they don't want to fall behind in XP. Because if you drop off the wave and you lose all of it, especially if it's a crashed wave, you lose so much XP that it's almost worse than dying sometimes. Gio is out playing Diablo for now. Well, the thing is, we've not really seen much AD carry versus AD carry. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously much more complicated, Spaghetti. That's the kind of thing you VOD review and you try and see, well, you know, is there any extra information that we missed? Sometimes, let's be honest, top laners die for like 3 minions under tower, which kind of sucks. But yeah, rotations like that, particularly with someone like Vladimir. Vladimir needs XP. He needs so much golden XP. So giving up a wave, it sucks. It really, particularly when it's a crashed wave. You never want to lose a crashed wave. It feels so bad. Which is why sometimes you see some of the older, more experienced top laners, sometimes quote-unquote int, when, you know, you see someone like, you know, Odoamne was quite famous for this, or Soaz, or what are the other ones? I mean, a lot of the LCK top laners did this too, right? Where they would just stay under tower, knowing that they would die, but realizing, look, the wave state is going to be completely destroyed. Baus is obviously another one there too. Oh, yes, okay, 4 people have just mentioned Baus in a row. Yes, Baus is obviously in there too. The Shy, of course, in there too. But sometimes you realize, look, XP and gold is way more important than KDA. Especially if you're on someone that needs to, like, actually be ahead of the game for the base stats that you need. A lot of tanks need that, right? Yeah. Odoamne, the last LEC player to get top 8 at Worlds? That's insane, actually. That's very true. Wait, is that true? Top 8? Wait, when was the last time that EU made a semi-finals? I mean, that would have been... Well, we made finals in 2019, right? Top 16? Wait, did Rogue make semis? Wait, when did they... Did Rogue make semis in 22? Did I just completely... Hang on a second. Diablo, great damage onto him. Semis top 4. Oh, you're completely right. I'm actually just bad at maths. And Calix is pretty good at outplaying Dies, but can't quite get enough damage. Almost flashing forwards for the damage from King. And Ari will go down, trade a mid lane as Raptors trot on the other side of the tower. And I think Raptor, well, clever girl, what might Raptors be? I don't think intelligence is making you out of that one. You just don't have enough HP. Clear caught on the other side. Oh, this is another failed dive from BFX. You get Calix, but at what cost? Yeah, top 8 is quarterfinals. I'm actually just dumb, by the way, folks. I am dumb. Yeah, you are completely right. Clear will try and clear the wave. He'll use his Sign passive to get it. Chiwu is getting so many stacks here, by the way. He's at 10 a minute of 14 minutes. Typically, you expect the stacks to get faster across the game because you get more cooldown reduction, right? Yeah, in my brain, I was like, oh, top 8, isn't that quarterfinals? No, top 8 is quarterfinals, of course. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep. Physics degree can't do maths. I do maths with a calculator and a pen and paper. I'm not actually that great at mental maths. Yes, I do have a physics degree. I'm not great at mental maths all the time. God. I think somehow Nongshim made it out of this early game. Somehow, despite the swap being really questionable. I mean, they've just outplayed. What can I say? Nongshim have just outplayed, and now the Noodle Boys are ahead. 1,000 gold for mid lane. Vikler missing out on an easy kill into G-Will earlier was a bit rough. Is that the thing which determined the game? No, of course not. It's been a bunch of players from BFX which have kind of added up to each other, right? The fact, like, missing one dive isn't a killer, especially with the early game and how well it went. Missing several dives in a row, that's really where it falls apart. Have I been watching Amir too? A little bit, but not as much as I'd like to. Lehen's Quartet does have flash and heal. Uses ult early. I think he's just dead for this. Maybe he could have flashed early. Does flash out now, and he... Color me a liar. I guess he does get out. Kingen putting down the Humo play, getting some healing down. Has the Blood Rush coming out of the pool as well. Can they combo anyone into the Talir field? No, not quite. Oh, Diablo's into the play now. Can Diablo carry the team in the way that he so often does? Chu taken down. Diablo starting to get some damage. Dodging out on the flip back as well. Calix not getting the Qs on target. The Zeri's alive, and the Zeri's killing them. Oh my god, trust in Diablo. The game flips on a knife's edge, and Diablo's the one which stabs it and starts. Charm after the dash. Great play from Viclet to knock one down there. BFX come alive in the team fight to Nongshim, but you did the hard part. You got out of the early game, and they lose around the Herald fight. Oh my god, Diablo triple kill for him. This team really comes alive later into the game. BFX, they're a very exciting team to watch. Now, eventually, you know, Lehen's popping the ult early, not really doing a crazy amount, right? Lehen's is effectively out of the play. Jiwa uses his ultimate, catches Diablo. You think, okay, well, maybe Diablo dies here, but the barrier comes up. And then I think the game really turns after the ultimates are used, and Diablo finds this angle here to start getting the ultimate off. Calix has got a decent amount, great charm in there, multi-man malignance put down as well, and also at this point, one thing which wasn't apparent before, Lulu wasn't at the start of the fight, comes into the end and has a full amount of abilities over there. Kellen even stops the Hexgate of Gideon at the back end of the fight, and means that they're available to be killed later as well. I think Lehen's not flashing early really put Nongshim into a bad spot. Their front line was in a bad spot. I mean, again, there's a litany of errors there where Nongshim overchased into the choke points, but Lehen's losing so much HP early is a huge factor of that. Huge factor. So I do understand what you're saying, someone else over in Onivia's chat in terms of, well, you know, you look just at Diablo, is that the most insane play or whatever? I mean, choosing the right moment to go in when there's a lot of damage on the other side is kind of important. But that being said, look, realistically, the play which won that fight was Raptor catching Lehen's and then making sure the front line was so down. But, I mean, there is also something to be said about an AD carry that can consistently play within the pocket which they've been given. I really like Diablo. Diablo is one of those players where he'll always find the pocket in a way that I don't think a lot of other AD carries have similar, or viewed as you know, as a similar caliber or ones in a similar level teams. I don't think they do consistently find those angles as much. Damn Vlad, don't see that often. No, not at all. Not at all. It reminds me of, so I went out to China in 2023 for the summer finals and the regionals. Went out to Xi'an, which is Team WE's home ground. And, of course, JDG, LNG in the finals. Awesome series, by the way. It was a really fun time. Went out for Hot Pot. Oh my god, the Hot Pot was so good. But I went for Hot Pot with Hysterics. And he just ordered a load of blood for... Hang on a second, that's a lot of damage onto Gideon. Is he going to die from the bird? He does! There's the ult from the Trundle as well. Trundle takes him down. Jeez. But I have a video somewhere of Hysterics, like, asking in Chinese for... There was mistranslations. They brought us like 3 plates of blood for the Hot Pot. Oh, God. So occasionally I refer to Hysterics as the Blood Man for memories of that event. He was Vladimir that day. I missed that. I missed that so much. Diablo caught out. Dashing away from... Hang on, getting good damage over here. He might die. But there's the Lulu. There's the Lulu outplays again. Lulu saving the day. Diablo dodging out on the minefield. Kellen picks up the pieces. And BFX roll forwards with the super fed. Zeri again gets another triple kill. BFX rally around Diablo. And they'll start pushing in for an inner turret. They've taken over the game from what was looking like a really dangerous early game. How did you get in that position? How did Jiwa get in that position? I thought, I mean, with Diablo in that position, surely it should have been Diablo getting caught out there. With no flash, the Talir over there couldn't hit the shove. Diablo walks it out. Well, that was a play of all time. That is heartbreak for Nongshim, because that could actually end the game here. I think genuinely giving up that fight at that point, just after Gideon died as well, Nongshim are just randomly losing kills. It feels like Nongshim, they're actually, you know, they're quite a creative, fun team. And they can be a very strong team at points. It just feels like they just randomly lose kills across the map. So Calix gets to play onto Diablo, who dashes out of the minefield, gets the ultimate, puts a ton of damage down, and then Lulu picks up the pieces. It's not a... Diablo is obviously in a dangerous spot there, but the Lulu changes the equation so much. Hang on, jumping over the wall. Charm onto the Kiana, who's immediately dead. Diablo goes forward aggressively. Some extra damage coming down. A covering Smolder ultimate. I don't think will save them. Vikla very close to 2-5. Onto Smolderus. Not enough. Was hit by a Charm just before and is chomped down by the Trundle. A flash over and Calyx. Get over here. A double for Raptor. Clever girl. BFX, I think, folks, BFX might have just earned them a final slot in Asian Invitational. Godguo is firmly over on BFX side. BFX have been chosen not only by the gameplay, but by Godguo himself, the Grasshopper King. Atakan available. It feels like it's later in the game than Atakan time. So it's a flash forward. Great reactions to flash away, though. And then Lahens is completely out of sorts. What does he do? Lahens has had a couple of flash plays this series which have not quite worked the way he wanted to. Tried to get the flash cocoon onto Diablos. Yunara in the last game couldn't manage that. And again, when you hit late game, I do think Diablo is really consistent at playing within these pockets. I think that he can get caught out in laning phase, early game, and side lane, but I really think that Diablo is so consistently good at picking up damage in these fights. Compared to many other AD carries of, you know, similar caliber, I suppose. I've really been enjoying this, folks. It's been real cinema. I've been enjoying the no-holds-barred and aggressive gameplay. Kellen, does he look for the Little Lancer? Does. Goes into the Charm. This might now be a killer angle. There's no flash on him dashing forwards, and Calyx, I think he's thrown his last rock, and he has done. Vikla, great Charm after Kellen got that slow. Kellen has had a wonderful game on the Lulu, by the way. I think he's been silent but deadly. Buffing up Diablo, saving him, allowing him to just do insane damage. He's gone for the Bloodthirster third, by the way, again for the extra bits of survivability. Went for the Shield Bow on the Yunara last game. Similar kind of result. I think Kellen's had a wonderful game here.
就不得不说，就是两边 AD 的 carry 能力确实是有差距的，就是大家吃资源的反馈率。
我现在明白你说的这个G5跟他的区别在哪。
就是赛前我
I'm really excited to see where Diablo goes in terms of his career. You know, what's next in store for him? Will BFX build him as a franchise player, try and build a roster around him? Will other teams try and buy him onto their rosters? I think if you build a roster around Diablo, we can see that again. He is a very talented player. I think he's, and folks, this is a young player doing this. How much can he grow from this?
这下左边难了呀，这会儿吸血鬼的装备是完全不足以威胁到后排的。 而且现在泽利的伤害因为太爆了，就是你没人扛得住。
You know, a lot of these late game fights. Yes, hang on a second. Gideon get the catching on to Vikla. That is a lot of damage. Can you get the damage to get away? The redemption comes through, and Vikla, I think he might have just slid his way out of that redemption. Going to maybe kill, dodges out on it with the Foxfire move speed, and now Gideon is out of sorts. No supreme display of talent, and I don't think he'll have much HP after this too. Diablo gets the assassination onto Calyx, solo kill from him, and Nongshim tried to go for the pick onto the mid laner, leave themselves extended, and BFX collapse, picking up 3 as revenge. They'll be able to stick around on top side afterwards. They got the Atakan a little bit before this too. They're on soul point. They can have a Hextech soul in 4 minutes. Break open another turret. They're going to be well over 7,000 to 8,000 gold in the advantage. There was a Hemo play put onto Vikla. Kingan trying to use that to get some kill threat. Hang on a second. There's a chance of a Charm under tower if the wave gets killed here. Nope, the wave does manage to survive. Kingan, not bad damage here. Charm under tower, but didn't take aggro before this. Not bad from Vikla, though. Has the Bloodletter's Curse for a bit of shred over time. Ooh, E landing. Good damage. Clear coming down, though. He should have another Sanguine Pool available coming up soon, I think. It's got a long cooldown. All coming through from Clear. Dead King once again. Overextension, overstayed. Nongshim lose another kill. That Scion ult was BM. I think you want to do it melee range just to start the CC combo. That's what you want to do.
但是感觉这把 MVP 还是 Diablo
那没办法，这哥们儿太亮眼了呀。
10-1 and 5 on Zeri. It's pretty incredible how BFX consistently managed to get Diablo to a point where he just shreds late game fights. I mean, someone mentioned how Prince's teams used to play around him like this in LCK, and I don't think that's a bad comparison, actually. I think this is something that Kira, I do a lot of podcasts with him, something that Kira says quite a lot, and this is really one of those situations of know thyself. Know thyself. Know that you have a player that you can play around for wins like this. Set him up for success, jumping over the wall. Lulu buffing up, Calyx having to flash away. Yeah, you just can't walk anywhere up these waves anymore. Jiu gets a poke back, does have the Rapid fire cannon to get some extra target access. Really does need an extra... Oh, jumping over the wall. Kea does not have the HP for that. He is going man mode, splashing out of the Smolder ultimate. He has the Lulu. He knows his limits. Triple kill to Vikla. Gonna get a little bit more there. Clear picks up the 4th. No Pensa for this fight. God damn, the burst was insane. Holy moly, I don't think... I mean, look, Gideon might live here, but the thing... or again, maybe not. We'll see. But the important thing is, he's not back home to wave clear. I think the fearless Foxes may well have earned themselves a final slot at ASI 25. The Hexgators use Raptor might follow him over. Gideon's not going to be able to be in the finishing picture. Nongshim will be knocked out in the lower bracket finals. BFX will clear them as Diablo goes absolutely mental, propped up by Kellen's Lulu. Awesome game from him too. BFX will 2-0 Nongshim and meet D plus Kia in the finals tomorrow.